I started as the master of Jin Feng's Ayulu, astonishing the world with a single sword. This video is purely for entertainment and does not infringe on copyrights or laws. The rights to the novel and image belong to the original author. We do not claim ownership. Don't like waiting and want to listen to this fanfic in full now? Subscribe to our Patreon, where you'll find the best fanfics. Chapter 426, Xiantian sect arrives, lures the personnel to attack. She did not hide it from Su Chen and told him about her situation. She looked at Su Chen closely, wanting to know his reaction after hearing this. Su Chen looked calm. He had expected that the Hanyu sect would not take action. He just came to verify it, so he would not have too many emotional fluctuations. In fact, it is better for you not to participate. In this way, we can get more things from the ghost domain, or Xianyu pavilion, Su Chen said calmly. He had a plan on the way here. Mainly single kill. He did not believe that Feng and his group would stay together all the time. As long as they find an opportunity to kill some people, or lead some people away, then they will have a chance to deal with Feng. Of course, by then, the ghost domain can occupy the Xiantian sect alone. If the Hanyu sect competes with it, then there is no need to hold back. If they dare to pick peaches, they are already enemies and there is no need to hold back. Then I wish you, Master Su, can successfully take down Huomu Peak, but I can send 2 elders to help Master Su. Zhu Hanyu is not helping out of kindness, but as long as these 2 elders participated, she could watch the battle openly in the dark. The strength of these 2 elders is considered strong in the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. At that time, they can also help lead away 2 masters of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, so it would be a waste if they were not used. Thank you, Miss Hanyu, but these 2 elders need to follow the arrangements, and I will tell them what to do when the time comes. Since Miss Hanyu has already informed us of the matter here, I will take my leave first. Su Chen did not stay here, and said goodbye after a slight salute. Is this Su Chen, Saint? This Su Chen has an aura, an extraordinary aura. After Su Chen left, Elder Yin in the room spoke. How can he be an ordinary person who can be nominated by the Qinglong Society, and become the leader of the 9 northern counties? This is why I don't want to stand on the opposite side of him. Next, I may have to trouble the 2 elders. I really want to see how they deal with Feng, Zhu Hanyu said. In fact, she felt a little helpless. She originally wanted to deal with Feng and others with Su Chen, but she didn't expect that Zuzan suddenly left, disrupting her idea. She understood the intentions of Zuzan and others. She couldn't stop them, so she could only stay. Naturally, she couldn't tell Su Chen about this. At this time, another 9 figures appeared outside the gathering place. They were Feng and others who came from the Xiantian sect. They looked at the gathering place in front of them. Master, do you want me to go and check it out first? Jin Dui, who was beside Feng, said. This is my Xiantian sect territory. We don't need to be afraid of anyone. Feng's eyes were cold, and he stepped towards the gathering place. At this time, the disciples of the Xiantian sect outside the gathering place saw Feng's excited expression and bowed. Take us forward, Jin Dui said. The Xiantian sect disciples led them into the gathering place and headed towards the palace. Roadside. Su Chen hid his figure in the crowd and looked at the group of people moving forward. Among them, Feng's aura was strong, giving people a strong sense of oppression. We still need to plan at night, although Su Chen had a general idea. He still needed to plan. Master, I didn't sense any exploration along the way, and there was no aura of a strong man. Jin Dui, who was following Feng, transmitted the voice. He was sensing the surrounding situation along the way. There was nothing around that could make him feel a little pressure. Let's see the cause of death of Feng and the Supreme Elder first. After speaking, he stepped into the palace. Inside the palace, 3 bodies were placed in it. The head of the man in black was broken, which was extremely ugly. The bodies of Feng and Yuan Muge were still intact. The green-robed old man Ming flashed in front of Feng, who was his disciple, and checked the wounds in Feng's body. He died because of the energy entering his body. The person who attacked him is very powerful, and it is estimated that he is about to reach the stage of concentrating in the sea. Ming frowned slightly when he said this. The one who attacked him was Li Chenhao, the 3rd dragon leader of the Qinglong Society. Elder Yuan also died in his hands. While Jin Dui was speaking, He came to the side of Yuan Muge and checked the cause of Yuan Muge's death. He died because his heart meridian was shattered by a punch. The punch of Li Chen's Hao is domineering and unparalleled. Jin Duai's eyes were solemn. Finally, he came to the side of the man in black. Looking at the miserable state of his body, Jin Duai's face was a little angry. The elder died at the hands of Guan Qi. At that time, Guan Qi absorbed the golden plum bottle and entered a state of madness, with sword energy running rampant and violent. A man in black in the hall said, "Guan Qi is crazy. Has he absorbed the golden plum bottle many times?" Hearing this, Jin Duai said to himself in a cold voice, "The golden plum bottle is a good treasure, but if you use it too much, you will be possessed. When you are possessed, you will be extremely violent and your moves will be quite brutal. Today, send the bodies of Master Mu Shan and others back to Xiantian sect. After sending the bodies away, you will follow me to the Ghost Realm. Today, we will take the people from the Ghost Realm to pay tribute to Master Mu Shan and others." Ho Mu Feng's low voice sounded in the hall. Yes, some Xiantian disciples in the hall began to collect the 3 bodies and quickly put them into 3 coffins. Outside the hall, the carriage was ready and quickly transported the coffins away. A group of Xiantian disciples were guarding. On the main street of the gathering place, inside a small pavilion, Su Chen looked at the convoy leaving. After thinking for a moment, he said to one of the 4 ghosts from Xiaxi standing behind him, "Go and inform Zihanayu, and ask the 2 elders beside her to take action on the departing convoy, and lure out some of the Xianren Jiunan masters who just followed Ho Mu Feng." Yes, a green figure left quickly. Su Chen's eyes looked towards the palace. There are 2 purposes for letting Zihanayu take action. One is to lure away the 2 masters besides Zihanayu, so as to test whether there are other masters besides Zihanayu. The second is that if Ho Mu Feng sends someone forward, then his first sniper kill will take place, using powerful force to weaken the opponent's power first. Finally, concentrate on killing Ho Mu Feng. Of course, this is just his idea, and all situations need to be changed according to the actual situation. Time passed little by little. Suddenly, a firework appeared 10 miles away from the gathering place. It was the firework of Xiantian sect asking for help. Looking at the firework, Su Chen's eyes were fixed on the palace not far away. He wanted to see how Ho Mu Feng arranged it. Inside the palace, Ho Mu Feng and his group walked out of the palace. Seeing the fireworks, a cold light flashed in his eyes. "Master, are they going to transfer some of us?" Jin Duai said while looking at the fireworks. "Master, I will go there in person. I want to see what tricks they are playing." The great elder Hu Mingnang beside Ho Mu Feng spoke. He couldn't swallow that his disciples were killed. He needed to pay with the lives of people from the Qinglong Society, or Ghost Realm. Ho Mu Feng nodded calmly. Hu Mingnang's strength was stronger than Yuan Muge's before. He was a veteran Danshan Hua realm expert. Even if he met Gu Santong, he could resist for a few minutes. In these few minutes, they could definitely arrive. Chapter 427, No Words Spoken, Fierce Fight. The Supreme Elder Hu Mingnang of the Xiantian sect and 2 other elders, then the only ones left in the palace are the Supreme Elder Lu Qingshen, the Lord of Bishan Jin Duai, and 3 elders of Xianren Jiunan. "In this case, we can definitely deal with Ho Mu Feng," Su Chen muttered as he watched 3 figures walk out of the palace. He didn't expect to lead 3 people away at once, including a Supreme Elder. "Then go meet Ho Mu Feng, the head of the Xiantian sect," Su Chen said. Behind him, one of the 4 ghosts from Xiaxi left quickly. At this time, inside the palace, the hall seemed very quiet. Ho Mu Feng looked calm, while Jin Duai frowned and looked worried. He always felt that something was wrong. Suddenly, Ho Mu Feng's eyes suddenly opened, and the black-robed Supreme Elder Hu Qingshen beside him looked outside the palace with a gleam of brilliance. "I didn't expect it to really come," Jin Duai said in his heart. "Gu Santong, we didn't win the last time, but you're here again this time." A huge wave of aura erupted from Ho Mu Feng's body. He was the first to come out, and the other 5 followed him instantly. On the square outside the hall, Gu Santong stood with his hands behind his back, and when Ho Mu Feng appeared, he turned and passed by. "Ho Mu Feng, I didn't expect that we would meet again. In the last battle, you and I didn't win. I was thinking of getting along well with you, Xiantian sect, but I didn't expect you to chase me. Since you guys are chasing me, then I can only make you, Xiantian sect, disappear." Gu Santong looked at Ho Mu Feng and said, "Gu Santong, you are so arrogant that you actually want to destroy my Xiantian sect. Today, I just want to keep you here. Hou Mufeng's face was gloomy. While he was talking, a strong aura surged out of his body, forming a huge airflow that pressed towards Gu Santong. Elder Lu, let's join hands to kill Gu Santong. When Hou Mufeng's aura pressed towards Gu Santong, he transmitted his voice to the black-robed old man beside him. The black-robed old man's face did not move, but a blood-colored energy condensed in his palm, which kept flowing and gathering together. He looked at Gu Santong closely. As long as Hou Mufeng made a move, he would find an opportunity to make a move. As long as he briefly interfered with Gu Santong for a period of time, he believed that Hou Mufeng would find an opportunity to make a move. Divine power, Sky Sword. At this time, Hou Mufeng shouted in a low voice, and the energy flowing in his body turned into sword energy in an instant, and a long sword composed of sword energy appeared behind him. Around the long sword, the sword energy tore the space. Kill, Hou Mufeng shouted in a low voice, and the murderous aura soared into the sky. The long sword composed of sword energy instantly slashed towards Gu Santong. He made a direct move without any nonsense. Seeing this, Gu Santong's body was shining with golden light, and the whole person was light cast in gold. He raised his hand and punched out. The golden fist blasted out directly, colliding with a long sword. Bang! The fist collided with a long sword, and the violent energy spread rapidly. The energy surged all over the sky, causing the people around to step back a few steps. At this time, the black-robed Supreme Elder Lu Qingsheng moved, and the key in his hand turned into a huge ice cone, attacking behind Gu Santong. The ice cone brought a huge chill, which instantly cooled the temperature around. But at this time, a fist shadow appeared, and a fist hit the ice cone, and then the figure fell, stepped on the ground, and attacked Lu Qingsheng, with a domineering and fierce breath on his fist. Seeing this, Lu Qingsheng's eyes condensed, and the key in his body burst out. A hazy cold air appeared in his palm, and he slapped it out. It collided with a fist. Bang! The fist and palm collided with each other, making a dull sound, and then the two of them retreated a few steps. Li Chen's-hao, the three leaders of the Qinglong Society, the Qinglong Society, are going to get involved in the affairs of my Xiantian sect and Xianaya Pavilion. Lu Qingsheng looked at Li Chen's-hao with cold eyes, and his voice was very low. Taking money to do things for others, Xianaya Pavilion has paid the price, so of course we will take action. Li Chen's-hao looked at Lu Qingsheng and said. The energy in his arm turned as he spoke, and the frost covering his arm was instantly shattered. You, the Qinglong Society, are going to intervene, so show up. I know you still have strong people in the dark. When Li Chen's-hao's voice fell, Jin Duai said in a deep voice. The other party is calculating them like this, and it must not be just these people. Huh? When his voice fell, 5 figures flew over from a distance. 5 figures, 5 powerful auras came to suppress, and Jin Duai's expression changed. Qinglong Huyan Nanshan, Ding Peng, Liu Sheng Yijian, Zhu Yiren, Xianaya Pavilion Guanqi. When the 5 figures fell, Jin Duai's eyes condensed. He didn't expect that the Qinglong would have so many masters at once. Except for Guanqi, all of them were people who had already appeared in the Qinglong Hu. You Qinglong Hu is fighting with this Xiantian sect in an all-round way. Jin Duai looked at Yan Nanshan and others and said. The other party can afford the price, so of course we Qinglong Hu will come, Yan Nanshan said. At this time, it seemed that someone in the gathering place sensed what was happening in the palace and came over here. Looking at the situation outside the palace, the whispering sound spread like a tide. Xiantian sect, ghost domain, Qinglong Hu, some people looked at this situation with horror in their eyes. The Xiantian sect has recently emerged, and many people have slowly recalled how powerful the Xiantian sect was back then. They also know about the ghost domain, which has recently fought with the Xiantian sect, but they didn't expect that the ghost domain would invite the Qinglong Society to deal with the Xiantian sect. Looking at the current situation, the ghost domain and the Qinglong Society have the upper hand in numbers. In that case, let me see the strength of your Qinglong Society. When Jin Duai spoke, a layer of bloodlight appeared on his body, and vaguely, his entire hair began to turn red like blood. A cold chill faintly emanated from his body, and he looked at Yan Nanshan and others with sharp eyes. I'll kill a few of you first, and see how you do. When Jin Duai spoke, he raised his arm, and at this moment a thick layer of blood-colored energy appeared on his arm. This blood-colored energy exuded a fierce and murderous aura. Su Chen, who was watching the battle from a distance, looked at this scene, his eyes slightly condensed. This Jin Dui is indeed a strong man whose Danshan has turned into a sea. His eyes flickered. And he was thinking whether he should stop this man himself. But when he saw Hong Yufeng, who was fighting with Gu Santong, his eyes slightly condensed. His target was Hong Yufeng. While he was thinking, Yan Nanshan and Ding Peng rushed out instantly, one in front and one behind. The magic knife appeared in Ding Peng's hand, and a sharp and terrifying aura emanated from the magic knife. Yan Nanshan's fist intent was condensed, and he was about to burst out with a fist intent that soared to the sky. Chapter 428, Cold Moon Sect, Blood Lord, the Violent Jin Dui. Another place. Zihanai looked at the scene in front of her, her eyes flickering. She didn't expect that the Qinglong Society would send out so many people. 3 dragon heads plus 2 masters of the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. It can be said that the strongest fighting force of the Qinglong Society in the 9 counties of the north has appeared. Suddenly, a wave of power appeared around her. A blood-colored figure appeared behind her. It was the Blood Lord who had left earlier. Zihanai was stunned when she saw the Blood Lord appear. Blood Lord, why are you here? Zihanai asked in surprise. She didn't expect that the Blood Lord who had left earlier would appear at this time. According to reason, Blood Lord and his men should have been at the Xianshan sect now, or they should have already taken action against the Xianshan sect. You think we will take action against the Xianshan sect? That's not a wise choice. We, Hanayu sect, won't take action until the winner is decided here. Blood Lord looked at Zihanayu and said. Then please let Blood Lord take action. If Huming, who was led away earlier, can come back, I'm afraid this side will be in a passive position. Zihanayu couldn't help but say. Huming Nang can't go back, don't worry, the outcome here is the end. Zuzan looked at the direction of the battle, his eyes were deep, and the blood-red light flashed in them. The battle here may not have much result. Gu Santong may not be able to kill Hong Yufeng. Zihanayu frowned and said. Judging from the situation of the battle between Hong Yufeng and Gu Santong, although the two have not yet used their full strength, but judging from the traces of the battle, the two may not be able to tell the winner. When she looked at Gu Santong and Hong Yufeng, the aura fluctuations on the two people were getting bigger and bigger, but their figures followed the changes in the aura and went out of the gathering place. Looking at the two people who were far away from the fight, Zihanai looked at Zuzan and found that Zuzan's eyes did not pay attention to Gu Santong and Hong Yufeng. She couldn't help but ask in confusion, Zuzan doesn't watch the fight between the two, even if the two of them decide the winner, Gu Santong will not dare to kill Hong Yufeng, so there is no need to pay attention, Zuzan said. Don't dare to kill Hong Yufeng. Zihanayu's face showed surprise. She really didn't understand what Zuzan said. You will know this later. When Zuzan spoke, his eyes were fixed on Jin Dui. Jin Dui, your strength has increased a lot in the past 20 years, and you are about to concentrate, but it's a pity that you will die here today. I will send you off. Zuzan's voice fell, and his body moved slightly. He appeared here just for Jin Dui. He wanted to attack Jin Dui. As long as Jin Dui died, Lu Qingsheng would be the only one left in the Xianshan sect who was at the level of Hu He. Then if they joined forces to kill him, Lu Qingsheng would not be able to escape. Here, Su Chen sensed a strong aura and looked in that direction. He saw the bloody figure appearing in front of Zihanayu. Zuzan, he had learned from Li Chenshao before that the master of the Hanayu sect who appeared beside Zihanayu was Zuzan. Why would he appear at this time, and he was going to take action? Su Chen narrowed his eyes slightly. Previously, Zihanayu said that Zuzan and his men would not take action. But now he appeared and was ready to take action. As if sensing Su Chen's gaze, the Blood Lord glanced at Su Chen, and a pressure-like aura swept towards Su Chen. But when it was about to get close to Su Chen, 4 figures appeared in front of Su Chen, and the aura that pressed towards Su Chen disappeared as if it had sunk into a quagmire. Seeing this, the Blood Lord's eyes condensed, but he did not look at Su Chen again. He rushed towards Jin Dui, who was fighting with Yan Nanshan and Ding Peng. From the perspective of realm, Jin Dui's strength was higher than Yan Nanshan and Ding Peng. Blood surged on his body, like a demon god, with a cold face. When he attacked, blood surged, and the surrounding air formed ripples under the pressure of his blood. The palm of his hand that was probing was unusually sharp. Ding Peng's magic knife burst out with all its strength, and with Yan Nanshan's fist, he barely resisted Jin Dui's attack. Jin Dui, how are you? Just as Jin Duai continued to suppress Ding Peng and the others, a low voice sounded behind him. As the voice appeared, a hand slapped his back fiercely. The hand was blood red, and looked like bright red bones, and it was extremely fast. Jin Duai used a palm to repel Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan, stretched out his body, and slapped out a palm, colliding with a palm that attacked him. Jin Duai fell down and took a step back. The figure of Zuzan who attacked landed and retreated several steps before stopping. The fight showed that Zuzan's strength was not as good as Jin Duai. Zuzan, I didn't expect you to dare to appear in front of me. Today I will clean up the door for my dead master. Jin Duai looked at Zuzan who appeared. His eyes were full of anger, and the whole person looked very violent. Hearing his address, Jin Duai actually called Zuzan his junior brother. Zuzan used to be a disciple of Xianqian sect, and was Jin Duai's junior brother. After saying that, he turned around, gave up dealing with Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan, stepped forward, and attacked Zuzan directly. Let's surround and kill him together, Zuzan said to Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan. After saying that, his eyes also revealed a fierce look. He suddenly stepped out, and the blood-colored energy around him erupted from his body like a volcano. Red blood coagulation hand, Zuzan shouted, and violent blood energy power erupted from his palm, and he slammed out with one palm. Let me see, junior brother, have you made any progress in the past 20 years? Jin Duai's robes fluttered around him, and his hair, which had been infected with blood energy before, danced wildly. Blood energy condensed in his palm, and he punched out. Boom. The punch that Jin Duai blasted out seemed to explode the free air between heaven and earth, making a rumbling sound. When he finally approached the palm that Zuzan slapped, a blood-colored python appeared. The python was ferocious and rushed to collide with a bloody hand. Whoosh! At this time, Yan Nanshan and Ding Peng did not join forces to deal with Jin Duai, but turned around and attacked after Liu Sheng Yijian and Zhu Yiren fought. Two elders of the Xianqian sect were fighting with Zhu Yiren and Liu Sheng Yijian. They were restrained and could not react at all. One was hit by Yan Nanshan's fist, and the other was slashed by Ding Peng's magic knife. Swish! Swish! Then the sword energy of Zhu Yiren and Liu Sheng Yijian pierced their bodies. You, seeing this, Jin Duai, who was fighting with Zuzan, roared, and the power of his fists burst out even more powerfully. Bang! The figure of Zuzan was knocked back and flew dozens of meters before he stopped. When he stopped, a trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth, and his eyes were filled with anger. He didn't expect that Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan didn't take action, but went to join others to kill people. Don't worry about this, now we have to deal with Huomu Peak. Looking at this scene, Su Chen whispered, take me there. Behind him, the four ghosts of Xiangxi appeared beside Su Chen, lifted Su Chen directly, and turned into a green light and went towards Gu Santong and the others. Chapter 429, The Angry Blood Lord, Li Chensao's Violent Fist. Su Chen came for Home Yufeng this time, so he would definitely not let Home Yufeng leave alive. Then Su Chen left and went to the place where Gu Santong and Home Yufeng fought. Could there be any changes there? Seeing Su Chen being taken away, Zhu Hanyu frowned slightly. Of course, she was also very surprised. The four figures who took Su Chen away just now were too fast. No wonder he dared to come. It turns out that there are such masters protecting him. Zhu Hanyu wanted to go over and see, but she didn't go. She wanted to keep an eye on this side. At this moment, Zuzan was in trouble. The people of King Longhu did not join Zuzan in besieging Jin Duai. Instead, Zuzan was left to face Jin Duai alone. At this moment, Jin Duai transformed all his anger into an attack on Zuzan. The bloodlight in his hand was thick, and he kept making powerful attacks, not giving Zuzan a chance to breathe. The blood and ki fluctuations that burst out from the two people formed a violent collision with the air, and the sound made was like waves hitting rocks. Zuzan's face was extremely gloomy during the battle. He didn't expect that after he made a move, the people from the Qinglong society wouldn't make a move. His eyes were filled with murderous intent. If I have a chance, I will definitely kill you, he screamed in his heart, but he could only deal with Jin Duai with all his strength. Bang! 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 Violent collisions, blood-colored light continued to burst out. Zuzan's figure kept retreating, and there was still some gap between his strength and Jin Duai. Zuzan, you betrayed Xianqian sect, and betrayed your master. I will kill you today. Jin Duai's voice was cold, and his figure took steps continuously. His hands formed claws, and blood-colored energy condensed between his fingers, like the sharpest blade, attacking the vital parts of Zhu Zun's body. Facing Jin Duai's fierce attack, Zhu Zun's body continued to turn red blood color to improve his defense. Relying on such defense, he barely supported under Jin Duai's palm. On the other side, Li Chencao's side seemed fierce, and the black-robed Supreme Elder Lu Qingsheng used a sword. The sword technique was Xiantian sect, one-word frost sword. The sword came out like frost, fast and extremely cold. The two people's attacks were not earth-shattering, but they were extremely fierce. Li Chenhao, I don't believe your punch can continue. I want to see how long you can keep your punch. The black-robed Lu Qingsheng dodged Li Chenhao's punch, turned around, and looked at Li Chenhao with a ferocious look in his eyes. He spoke, but Li Chenhao did not speak and continued to punch. Under Li Chenhao's fist, Lu Qingsheng kept moving his body, and a bead of sweat appeared on his forehead unconsciously. Li Chenhao's punch was too strong. Even if he had good body skills, he did not dare to be careless. What's more, he wanted to find a flaw in Li Chenhao's punch and stab the most fierce blow. Before, he had a few head-on collisions with Li Chenhao, and felt the power of the other party's internal energy, plus the fierce punch of the other party. He consumed too much energy in the head-on collision with the other party, and a strong recoil force caused the power in his body to fluctuate. So he changed the way he attacked. He used the gap to draw his sword, which was filled with cold air, to affect Li Chenhao's actions. Seeing that Li Chenhao didn't say anything, he continued to punch. Lu Qingsheng's heart was slightly shaken. He dodged, and the sword light in his right hand flashed. At the same time, a vortex of cold air appeared in his left hand. Heavenly Mountain Ice Soul Palm. The sword light suddenly retracted, and his left hand slapped out. It collided with Li Chenhao's fist. The palm and fist collided, and a strong cold air rushed to Li Chenhao's fist. Bang! Lu Qingsheng's figure was shaken back, and his arm that slapped out kept shaking, but he looked at Li Chenhao with sharp eyes. At this moment, a layer of ice appeared on Li Chenhao's punching arm. Right at this time, Lu Qingsheng, who was shaken back, had a cold light flash in his eyes and a cruel smile on his face. He seized this opportunity. The longsword in his hand made a slight vibration, and his figure flew into the air and slashed with the sword. The sword light turned into white light, covering Li Chenhao. The opportunity you're waiting for is also the opportunity I'm looking for. When he was in the air, bang! The fist force on Li Chenhao's arm surged, directly shattering the ice. He kicked the ground with his foot, and the ground burst at this moment. Countless gravel flew up and shot towards the falling sword light. Bang! 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 The sword light and the violent gravel collided violently. At this time, Li Chenhao bowed and stepped forward, and a huge airflow wave appeared around him. These airflows collided with the air, and the air could not bear the pressure and made a huge explosion. The powerful sound stimulated Lu Qingsheng. His head was empty for a moment, and the collision between the sword light and the gravel made his eyes unable to see Li Chenhao's movements for a while. When he recovered briefly, he felt a terrifying force like death approaching. Li Chenhao's fist had arrived. At this moment, Lu Qingsheng's pupils dilated, and the hair on his body stood up. Not good. Under the fierce fist force, an extremely dangerous airflow spread throughout his body. The shadow of death instantly enveloped his heart. He reacted instinctively, pulling back his sword, trying to block Li Chenhao's punch. Boom! The sword was pulled back and collided with Li Chenhao's fist. He immediately felt a huge power coming from the sword. The sword hit his chest. The powerful fist force entered his body through the sword. Bang! The whole person was knocked back by the punch. Puff! A mouthful of blood spurted out. You lose, the loser will die. Li Chenhao's voice appeared in his ears. Then Li Chenhao's figure appeared in his pupils. Li Chenhao's fist appeared again. This time, Li Chenhao's fist was not so subtle, but a kind of release. A huge fist appeared on his fist. The fist force not only covered Lu Qingsheng's body, but also suppressed Lu Qingsheng's mind. Lu Qingsheng's mind was injured by a blow. He could no longer resist Li Chenhao's fist. The fist fell. It hit his chest directly, and the powerful force rushed directly into his internal organs through the skin. The meridians, heart meridians, and internal organs in his body were all shattered by the huge fist force. There was no change in Lu Qingsheng's appearance, and he looked at Li Chenhao in horror. In addition to horror, there was also a hint of fear and disbelief. Li Chenshao was the one who wanted to concentrate in the sea, and he was the same, but he died under Li Chenshao's fist. Plop. Lu Qingsheng's body fell to the ground. Lu Qingsheng fell to the ground, which shocked the people watching the battle in the distance, and they looked at Li Chenshao in horror. Even if you and I are at the same level, you will die under my fist. Li Chenshao's voice was overbearing. Such a scene made Jin Duai, who was fighting with Zhu Zun, tremble suddenly. The speed of attacking Zhu Zun was a little slower. At this moment, Zhu Zun also sensed the changes on Li Chenshao's side, and was also shocked, resulting in missing the opportunity to counterattack Jin Duai. Chapter 430, Encirclement and Killing, Tai's Hongtang Experience Card. Jin Duai turned around and fled. Even if he killed Zhu Zun today, he might not be able to escape, so he thought about turning around and escaping. You can't leave. Seeing this, Zhu Zun stepped forward, holding a long sword in his hand, and a blood-colored light flowed out of his palm. He took a step forward, and the energy in his palm became a sword. He chopped it out with a sword, and the powerful blood-colored sword light whistled towards Jin Duai's back. This is a chance to kill Jin Duai, and Zhu Zun will not let it go. Jin Duai's escape was blocked, and a cold light flashed in his eyes. He turned around and raised his palm, took a step forward, and dodged the sword attack from Zhu Zun. Then he turned around and appeared in front of Zhu Zun violently, attacking Zhu Zun with a palm. Zhu Zun didn't expect Jin Duai to turn around. He just wanted to stop Jin Duai before, but now the whistling palm was too close, so he could only fight back with a palm. Bang! The palms of the two collided with each other. Then a wave of power that made him unbelievable swept towards his body like a raging wave in the sea. Bang! The whole body was shaken and flew backwards, and blood spurted out of his mouth. Damn it! After the bloody Zhu Zun landed, he turned around and left. He didn't stop at all. Jin Duai wanted to chase him, but at this time, the magic knife Ding Peng made a move. He stepped on the ground, turned his body, and quickly appeared in front of the opponent. The magic knife in his hand turned, and the white knife light shone on Jin Duai. Huh? At this time, Yan Nanshan punched, and the strong fist burst out towards Jin Duai. The fist rushed to Jin Duai's chest with a storm of blood. Jin Duai turned around, his palm was bloody and sharp, and he grabbed Ding Peng's magic knife, and then punched out, and the violent fist force blocked Yan Nanshan's fist. Jin Duai's realm was 1 point higher than Ding Peng and Yan Nanshan, and the two did not cause too much pressure on each other. At this time, a dazzling sword light, like a golden storm, appeared in front of the opponent. The one who attacked was Zhu Yiren. After the battle at Qinglong Temple, Zhu Yiren used the elixir to enter the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. Zhu Yiren's swordsmanship was sharp and terrifying, forcing Jin Duai to retreat. One strike and retreat. Ding Peng turned the magic knife in his hand and slashed it again. The knife light made the air vibrate, as if a black light appeared in the white light. The fierce magic knife blocked the line of sight, whistling like a ghost crying and howling, and struck down with one strike. Swish! Jin Duai's ki was directly torn apart by this knife, and a knife mark appeared on his chest, and blood spurted out. Nanshan Divine Fist. At this time, Yan Nanshan attacked, and his fists were filled with violent ki and continuously bombarded the opponent's place where the knife mark appeared. Bang! Bang! Jin Duai's body was knocked back, and the knife mark on his chest became larger, and blood spurted out. Jin Duai himself felt that he was hit by a 1,000-pound hammer, and the whole person was knocked back several steps, and a trace of blood flowed from the corner of his mouth. There was a look of disbelief in his eyes. But the attack did not stop. Zhu Yiren, who had been dodged before, stepped forward again, roared, and attacked again with a long sword in his hand like thunder. Fast, sharp. Cut everything. Jin Duai, who was trapped in the three-way siege, was suddenly in an extremely disadvantageous position. The magic knife came out again. Jin Duai felt a knife light flowing in his mind, and his expression and body became slow for a while, causing Yan Nanshan's fist and Zhu Yiren's sword light to hit his chest. The destructive force rushed into his body in an instant, making his energy cut off in an instant. At this moment, the magic knife in Ding Peng's hand turned. Danger! At this moment, Jin Duai felt a huge fear sweeping his heart. If he couldn't avoid it again, he would definitely die. He roared and all his strength burst out, and endless energy surged in his body. But at this moment, his strength had been weakened. He could only see the sword light, the knife light, and the fist shadow covering him. Finally, The key outside his throat was torn apart by the knife light. He felt a pain in his throat, and blood gushed out of his throat. He covered his throat. He looked at the three people in front of him with disbelief. He didn't expect it to be like this. He was born 20 years later, but he was killed here before he became famous again. The thought flashed through his mind, and he fell directly to the ground. On the other side, the successive deaths made the master of Shinran Jiunan from the Xiantian sect who was fighting Guan Qi panic. He was pierced into the body by Guan Qi's invisible sword energy and died. The battle ended here. What a strong force. If they, King Longhu, assassinate, it will probably be stronger than this. Zihanyu, who was watching the battle, looked at this situation with horror in his heart. I wonder how Zuzan is injured. In fact, many people were only paying attention to this battle. But they didn't notice Liu Sheng Yijian's departure. When Zuzan fled, Liu Sheng Yijian followed him and left. They pitied Zuzan. Zuzan must have held a grudge, so Liu Sheng would not let Zuzan leave. After all, Zuzan was injured, and it was normal for him to die from the serious injury. In another place, Hou Feng and Gu Santong were facing each other at the foot of a snowy mountain. Humph, aren't you afraid that all the people from the Qinglong society will die? Hou Feng looked at Gu Santong. The reason why he dared to fight Gu Santong far away from the gathering place was mainly because the Xiantian sect had two strong men whose Danshan turned into sea, and the Qinglong society only had Li Chen's Hao. He believed that Xiantian sect could get rid of the people from Qinglong society. Are you so confident that the people from Xiantian sect can get rid of Qinglong society instead of being solved by the people from Qinglong society? Gu Santong said. Do you think that's possible? Even if you transfer a supreme elder away, the combat power of Xiantian sect is stronger than that of Qinglong society, Hou Feng said coldly. Then Master Hou is doomed to be disappointed. At this moment, a green light appeared, and the four ghosts from Xianxi appeared with Su Chen not far from the two of them. Humph, you have no right to speak here. Hou Feng looked at Su Chen with disdain in his cold eyes. Su Chen's strength was like an ant in his eyes. As for the four ghosts from Xianxi beside him, the power on their bodies was fluctuating. Although the body movement that just appeared was very strange, no matter how strong a body movement was, without strength, it would be easily killed by him. Young Master Su is here. Is the matter over there over? Gu Santong stepped forward and saluted slightly to Su Chen. The situation is settled. There should be no one left alive. Pavilion Master Gu should believe in the strength of our Qinglong society. The matter over there is over. Now I am here to help Pavilion Master Gu deal with Hou Feng. When Su Chen spoke, he looked at Hou Feng. Hearing Su Chen's words, Hou Feng laughed up to the sky. He didn't expect that Su Chen would come to help Gu Santong kill him. This is a big joke. But before his laughter fell, Su Chen directly activated the Tai's Hongtang experience card, and a terrifying wave of power burst out from his body. Tai's Hongtang's strength is not inferior to Yi Di. With Tai's Hongtang's strength and Gu Santong's cooperation, Hou Feng can definitely be killed. Chapter 431, Battle of Huomu Peak, God Rise. Seeing the fluctuation of Su Chen's aura, Hou Feng's expression changed, and there was disbelief in his eyes. Su Chen's previous realm was about the difficulty of heaven and man, but the power he burst out now was not inferior to his power at all. How is this possible? How can you have such power at your age? He stared at Su Chen tightly, his face full of disbelief. Su Chen didn't say anything about this. He stepped forward, and the aura around him enveloped Hou Feng, and a blazing light shone in his eyes. As a warrior, Su Chen naturally hoped that he could have powerful power. Although Tai's Hongtang's power was not his, it was now perfectly integrated with his body. With his power, he certainly wanted to compete with a strong man like Hou Feng. Sensing Su Chen's fighting spirit, Hou Feng didn't say anything. The opponent's power was no less than his, so he didn't dare to be careless. What's more, there was Gu Santong on the other side. Although he didn't care so much about his life, he didn't want his realm to be knocked down and rebuilt again. People don't have so much time. Hou Feng looked at Su Chen, and an extremely strong breath slowly spread out from his body. This breath was cold and heavy like a mountain. There was a faint charm on him. Although he couldn't see it, Su Chen could sense it. Hou Feng's spirit was a breath like an iceberg. Boom! Under Su Chen's gaze, in an instant, the breath surged like wind and clouds, and a cold air surged under the cold Xiantian mountain. Then Hou Mufang took action, stepped on the ground, and rushed towards Su Chen like a meteor. And slapped his palm. A cold air appeared in his palm, bursting out, invading the heart. But Su Chen, who was opposite him, had a calm face. He had an ice unicorn arm on his left hand, and all the cold air flowing in the air had been absorbed by his arm. What's more, Su Chen also had the Xianshuang fist. But he didn't show it. This was his trump card, and he had to save it for a special time. He turned his palm behind his back, and the rain blade appeared in his hand. Although Su Chen used Tai Hongtang's experience card, he did not use Tai Hongtang's martial arts, but only borrowed Tai Hongtang's power to display his own martial arts. Of course, Tai Hongtang's divine style may be used in the end. After integrating Tai Hongtang's experience card, a piece of information appeared in Su Chen's mind. It was about the divine style. That is, the strongest burst of power of the sea concentrated strong man. There is a feeling of extreme sublimation. Of course, there is no need to burst now. As soon as Su Chen's rain blade came out, his figure turned into a residual image, dodging Hou Mufang's attack, and the rain blade in his hand slashed at the opponent with an unusually sharp edge. The blade light burst out, and it was unusually sharp. Hou Mufang, who made the move, turned his palm and slapped it on the blade light. The violent cold air directly shattered the blade light. Some ability. After a test of a glow, Hou Mufang moved his feet and his figure turned into a rainbow light and rushed out. Then he stretched out his right hand, and at this moment his palm became a claw, and a strong cold air flowed over his claw. Xianshan shattering dragon claw. A low shout came from Hou Mufang's mouth, and then Su Chen saw Hou Mufang's hand turned into dragon claw, and attacked Su Chen with a strong offensive. This Hou Mufang has fought with me for many moves, and his moves are so fierce. The power in his body is not ordinary. Gu Santong, who was watching the battle not far away, thought to himself. Just now, he was going to join forces with Su Chen to kill Hou Mufang, but Su Chen wanted to feel the strength of the sea concentrated strongman alone, so he didn't let him do it. Faced with such a fierce attack, Su Chen did not retreat at all. A fiery color burst out of his eyes. The Xiaoyu knife in his hand turned and disappeared, and a terrifying black energy appeared around him. Demon-splitting Vajra, he shouted in a low voice, and a fierce aura gushed out of his body. Under this fierce aura, his whole body began to grow larger, a bit like a demon ape surging. Boom! Then he raised his fist and collided with a falling dragon claw. There was a crisp sound, and the falling icy dragon claw had cracks under Su Chen's violent fist. Bang! Finally, the dragon claw shattered. Seeing this, Hou Mufang was stunned. While he was stunned, Su Chen stepped on his feet, his body flew into the air, his hands together, and then the whole person was like a diamond, smashing Hou Mufang fiercely. Sensing this violent force, Hou Mufang, who was stunned, came back to his senses, turned around and avoided Su Chen's smash. But the ground where he was standing before was smashed into a huge deep pit by Su Chen. Countless pieces of rubble shot out like bullets. They shot at Hou Mufang and were directly shattered by his energy. Seeing this, Hou Mufang's expression changed. Previously, Gu Santong's body was golden, but from the perspective of strength, he was not as violent as Su Chen. After missing the attack, Su Chen continued to sweep towards Hou Mufang. He punched out with his fist, and his fist was like a heavy mountain. Clang clang! Hou Mufang was forced to fight Su Chen head-on. The violent Qijin spread out like a wave at the intersection of the two people. It collided with the air, squeezing out all the surrounding air, forming a vacuum zone. The two fought very quickly. In just a few breaths, they fought for more than 10 rounds. In this hard fight, both of them used their Qijin to the extreme. Hou Mufang's Qijin was full of cold air, and it froze the cold air as soon as he attacked, but Su Chen's Qijin was violent and directly shattered the cold air. If Hou Mufang could not freeze Su Chen instantly, then his cold air would not have much advantage under Su Chen's fierceness. Of course, if he froze Su Chen would use the Ice Qilin Arm to absorb the cold air. Hou Mufang looked very ugly at this moment. This Su Chen who appeared was more difficult to deal with than Gu Santong. The aura was too violent. Although Gu Santong was also strong, his fighting style was not as brutal as Su Chen's. The more he fought, the more fierce he became, and his aura was constantly rising. If this continued, he might be suppressed. When Gu Santong took the opportunity to attack him, he would definitely be seriously injured. After being seriously injured, The opponent might not stop, and might knock him down. If his realm was knocked down, no one in the Xiantian sect would be able to stop them. A trace of solemnity flashed across his eyes. He had to find a way to get out of this predicament. Then a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. After Su Chen's punch shocked him back 2 steps, his figure soared into the air. And at the same moment he exerted all the coldness in his body to the extreme. Sky crystallized soul palm, Hou Mufang shouted in a low voice, and slapped out with one palm. The violent cold air swept out like a raging tide, freezing all the places it passed. After one palm, a white figure appeared behind Hou Mufang. As soon as this figure appeared, the cold air of heaven and earth rushed towards that figure crazily. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 432, Iron Blood Divine Style, Joining Forces to Kill, Yanggu. Hou Mufang didn't want to delay any longer. He directly used the divine style he obtained by concentrating his mind in the sea when he entered the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. The white figure behind him that was absorbing the cold air was the god he condensed. The leakage of the divine shadow meant that Hou Mufang was about to take the step of breaking the void. It was impossible to leak the divine shadow when he had just reached the state of concentrating his mind in the sea. Su Chen punched out, concentrating all his strength and blood, and collided with a palm that came. When he smashed the opponent's palm, his body was shocked and retreated several steps. At this moment, all the surrounding airflows went towards Hou Mufang. He looked up and saw the white shadow, and a trace of solemnity appeared in his eyes. I didn't expect this Hou Mufang to use his divine style now. Su Chen didn't dare to underestimate the opponent's move. 1,000 degrees of frost, freeze the world. At this time, Hou Mufang shouted in a low voice, raise his palm. And the white shadow behind him also raised it, and the shadow's palm merged with his palm. Then he slapped Su Chen with one palm. Endless wind and frost appeared in the world. A layer of ice appeared on the ground, spreading quickly towards Su Chen. Looking at the cold current sweeping over, the ice unicorn on Su Chen's arm began to tremble a little, wanting to absorb the cold current that was surging out. But Su Chen wanted to feel the attack of the strong man who was concentrating his mind in the sea of 9 difficulties of heaven and man. He also wanted to feel the power of the Iron Blood Divine Style on Tai's Hongtang. Tai's Hongtang was born in the Iron Blood Flag Gate. He practiced the Great Flag Wind and Cloud Palm, the 13 styles of Iron Blood, the Wedding Dress Divine Art, and the power of the Night Emperor. Perhaps Tai's Hongtang is a combination of the Night Emperor and Yan Nanshan. But Tai's Hongtang, who was born in the Iron Blood Flag Gate, inherited the will of the Iron Blood Flag Gate. So his divine power is iron in blood. Su Chen was using the Vajra-splitting demon at this moment. He was violent, and with Tai's Hongtang's iron blood divine style, he wanted to see how strong the power could be. Boom! When Su Chen used the Tai's Hongtang divine style, a strong bloody aura filled the world, and boundless blood surged in the world. The crazy iron-blooded aura spread out along with the murderous aura. It moved the heaven and earth. Boom! He punched out. His fist collided with a palm that slapped him. Bang! At the moment of collision, the shocking power fluctuations exploded between heaven and earth, the ground burst, and the air was squeezed, forming traces. The 2 people who were fighting were shocked and retreated again and again. The cold air and the blood collided, forming a force of equal strength. Su Chen did not have the upper hand. Hou Mufang was also a warrior of the same era, and his strength would not be bad. Su Chen suppressed the surging blood in his body, while Hou Mufang was also suppressing the boiling blood in his body. Who on earth was Su Chen? How could he have the strength to fight with himself with all his strength? He hadn't appeared in 20 years. How could the changes between heaven and earth be so great, and many strong people emerged? Hou Mufang couldn't imagine it. Looking at the disappearing cold air and the blood, he felt that he had miscalculated this time, and felt like retreating. Huh? At this time, a golden figure appeared behind him and punched out. A brilliant golden light burst out from his fist. It was Gu Santong who was watching the fight. He made a move. Just now, when Su Chen and Hou Mufang fought, strange phenomena appeared in the world. I guess there will be many people coming, so now is the time to make a move. The figure rushed out with a brilliant golden fist with a strong ki wave, surging on the fist like a tide. Under such a strong attack, Hou Feng could only fight back. Hou Feng's ki in the body circulated rapidly. The cold air circulated rapidly, and his palm showed an ice jade color. He punched out and touched Gu Santong's fist. There was a suction force on Gu Santong's fist that could absorb people's strength. He had fought with Gu Santong several times and knew the characteristics of Gu Santong's skills, so he paid special attention when he made a move. Boom! The two fists collided. This time, they did not separate at the first touch. Gu Santong increased the ki in his body, and the brilliant golden power gushed out desperately. Hou Feng was shocked and retreated continuously. Hou Feng had no choice but to resist desperately. At this time, Su Chen's figure also shot out directly, and his left palm formed a claw and grabbed Hou Feng directly. He wanted to seal Hou Feng's figure. The fierce energy was emitted from Su Chen's hand, filled with a terrible power fluctuation. Hou Feng was shocked. The remaining hand stretched out, and a cold air formed a palm force and hit Su Chen's claw. At this time, Su Chen's palm immediately changed and collided with the opponent's palm. At the moment of collision, Su Chen activated the Ice Qilin Arm. The cold air that filled his palm rushed into his arm in an instant. It was out of control at all. Hou Feng felt this power being sucked in, and his eyes changed drastically. He didn't expect Su Chen to absorb the ice energy in his body. Even Gu Santong didn't dare to absorb it like this. He looked at Su Chen, but found that his cold air did not flow into his body. Bang! At this time, the sleeves on Su Chen's arms burst open in an instant, and the Qilin Arm appeared in front of Hou Feng. The Qilin Arm emitted a brilliant light under the nourishment of the cold air. Hou Feng's expression changed drastically when he saw the Qilin Arm. He quickly controlled the cold air on his arm. But at this moment, Gu Santong's ki force suddenly increased again, making him unable to control the ki force in his body at all. He could only watch the ki force he had cultivated for decades rushing towards Su Chen's arm. As time passed, Hou Feng's ki force, which was originally like the ocean in his body, gradually began to disappear, and his own realm began to fall. Hou Feng roared. But no one paid attention to his roar. When Hou Feng's ocean-like ki force disappeared, his aura dropped greatly, his face turned pale, and his eyes became dim. At this moment, Su Chen pulled back his arm. He raised his finger and pointed it at Hou Feng's brow. Hou Feng, who had a gloomy look, was shocked when he saw this finger, and he felt a strong murderous intent. This Su Chen wanted to kill him. "You want to kill me, you want to kill me, how dare you kill me," he growled. In the growl, a goo worm mark appeared between his eyebrows. Seeing the goo worm mark appear, Su Chen frowned. But his fingers did not stop, and directly pierced through the mark, piercing through Hou Feng's eyebrows. "I came here to kill you. How can I let you live?" Su Chen said coldly. "You can't live even if you kill me. Even Emperor Zhou doesn't dare to kill me." Ha! Hou Feng laughed wildly, and his body fell straight to the ground. When Hou Feng fell to the ground, a white goo worm rushed out of his body and rushed towards Su Chen. A layer of frost appeared in Su Chen's palm and grabbed the white goo worm. The white goo worm penetrated the ice layer and continued to come towards Su Chen. Discover the yin-yang goo worm, Yang Goo. Trigger the reward of 3 orange lottery cards, which can be controlled by the primary slave beast talisman. At this time, a message appeared in Su Chen's mind. Seeing this, Su Chen's other hand produced a primary beast slave talisman, which was directly attached to the Yang Goo. The beast slave talisman instantly merged into the Yang Goo's body. Suddenly, Su Chen had the same feeling as when he controlled the ice silkworm Goo on Mu Kingsu's body before. However, at this moment, the experience card of Tai's Hongtang disappeared from Su Chen's body, and his body felt weak. "Let's go." Although he didn't know what this thing was, he shouldn't stay here for long. The 4 ghosts of Xiangxi appeared beside him, took Su Chen and Gu Santong away quickly. Chapter 433 Hou Feng's Death, Hanyu Cult's Response. The old man from Xianshan sect was standing in front of the cave, watching the strange phenomenon of heaven and earth disappearing. Blood color, different from the strange phenomenon produced by the previous person, the old man muttered. Puff. Suddenly, a mouthful of blood spurted out of his mouth, and his expression changed drastically. Something happened to Hou Feng. Before he could wipe the blood from the corner of his mouth, the old man's body turned into a ray of light and rushed to the outside of Xianshan sect. Not only this old man, but also some other people were rushing to the place where the strange phenomenon of heaven and earth disappeared just now. When they arrived, many people looked at Hou Mufeng lying on the ground with horror. Hou Mufeng, the head of Xianchen sect, was killed. Some of them couldn't believe what they saw, but now Hou Mufeng was indeed lying on the ground, and he had no breath. The world outside the Great Wall has changed. These people all knew that Hou Mufeng had fought with Gu Santuang. Now that Hou Mufeng was dead, the murderer must be Gu Santuang. I'm afraid that the ghost domain has the final say outside the Great Wall, some people muttered in a low voice. At the gathering place, the Xianchen sect suffered heavy losses, and Hou Mufeng was also killed, which foreshadowed the demise of the Xianchen sect in the crowd. Zhihanayu's beautiful eyes were filled with horror. Others thought that Hou Mufeng's death was related to Gu Santong, but she knew that this matter might be related to the Qinglong Society, because Su Chen came here. Once Hou Mufeng died, the Xianchen sect was leaderless, and it was our chance for the Hanayu sect to take action, but if we take action now, I'm afraid we will conflict with a ghost domain. Zhihanayu's mind turned. The Qinglong Society was invited by the ghost domain, and they should still have a relationship for the time being. If we take action here, the ghost domain will probably ask the Qinglong Society to take action. She saw the strength of the Qinglong Society today, and it was quite strong. Once they take action, they might suffer heavy losses. They need to make a long-term plan. She stepped back, and she had to find the Blood Venerable to discuss things. After she left, many people also left one after another. They just came to take a look, and didn't want to bring trouble upon themselves. In a gathering place, in an underground secret room, Zhihanayu's figure appeared. Elder Yin and his men, who were sent out by him earlier, had returned, and there was also an extra man in black robes. At this time, the three people looked solemn. Seeing Zhihanayu's figure appear, "Have you seen the Blood Venerable?" the black-robed man said. "Blood Venerable, Lin Huzan, didn't the Blood Venerable return?" Hearing this news, Zhihanayu was stunned. "No, we tried to contact him, but couldn't get in touch with him." "What happened to the saint girl at the Xianchen sect's residence?" Lin Huzan asked in a deep voice. Zhihanayu then told them all the situation at that time. The Blood Venerable's injury should not be too serious at that time. How could we not contact him? The black-robed man frowned and said. "Did something happen to the Blood Venerable?" Elder Yin said. "Under normal circumstances, the injured Blood Venerable should gather here with them. One is to help him treat his injuries, and the other is to discuss how to deal with the Xianchen sect. Now that the Blood Venerable has not been found, there may be an accident. Investigate with all your strength, and you must find the Blood Venerable. Even if he is dead, you must find his body," the black-robed man said in a deep voice. "I have already arranged for someone to find him, and I believe there will be news soon," Zhihanayu said. When she finished speaking, a man in black walked in from outside the secret room. "Greetings, Saint, the Blood Venerable is dead, and his body has been turned into thick water. I can't find out who killed him, but from the place where the Blood Venerable was killed, there is no sign of fighting. It should be a single blow," the man bowed and said. Hearing this news, there was silence in the secret room. Many people's faces became gloomy. "Do you think it was someone from the Qinglong Society who did it?" the black-robed man said. "If the Qinglong Society killed someone, there was no need to destroy the body. They are a killer organization, killing is normal, so I have some doubts. It might be someone from Xianaya Pavilion who did it. Only Gu Santuang and Guan Qi from Xianaya Pavilion took action this time, and no one else showed up. I don't believe that they only had two people in such a battle. Someone didn't show up. They saw that Zuzan was injured and attacked him. They were afraid that we would find any clues, so they destroyed the body, and now that Hou Mufeng in the outer frontier has been killed, Xianchen sect has suffered heavy losses. The only opponent left in the ghost domain is our Hanayu sect. Killing Zuzan will also weaken our strength," Zhihanayu analyzed. "Just now you said Hou Mufeng was killed." The black-robed man looked at Zhihanayu and asked. "Yes, Hou Mufeng was killed. I just saw the body. Someone pierced his forehead with a finger," Zhihanayu said. "How is this possible? How could anyone dare to kill Hou Mufeng?" Hearing Zhihanayu's words, the black-robed man's expression changed, revealing a look of complete disbelief. "According to the situation, it should be Gu Santong who joined forces with the people from the Qinglong Society to kill Hou Mufeng. I don't know," Lin Huzan, You just said that no one dared to kill Home Yufeng. What does this mean? Zhu Hanyu couldn't help but look at the black-robed man, wanting to know what he meant. Because this sentence was also said by Zuzan before. Now that Home Yufeng is dead, it doesn't matter if I tell you, there is a poisonous insect in Home Yufeng's body, named Yanggu. Where there is yang in the world, there must be yin. Outside the Shineman, there is a big man who has the yin gu. This is also the reason why Emperor Zhou only knocked down Home Yufeng's strength a little after defeating him, instead of directly abolishing his cultivation or killing him. As for who that adult is, I don't know either. The leader just told us so, and told us that even if we see Home Yufeng seriously injured, we must not take Home Yufeng's life, the black-robed man said in a deep voice. How dare the people from Xianaya Pavilion kill Home Yufeng? Elder Yin couldn't help but ask. Who knows? However, the news of Home Yufeng's death and the death of Zuzan should be passed to the leader immediately to see how the leader arranges it, the black-robed man said immediately. Another gathering place near here, Su Chen and his team did not go to Ghost Domain immediately, but chose to gather here. In a courtyard. Su Chen and Gu Santong stepped into the courtyard. In the courtyard, Li Chenshao and his team were waiting for Su Chen. Master, now that Home Yufeng of Xianshan sect has been killed, the North and South Mountain Masters and the Supreme Elders are all dead, it is our chance to take down Xianshan sect. We can't let Hanyu sect get there first, Du Wudi said excitedly. Although he did not participate in the battle, he is the master of Ghost Domain. Once he occupies Ghost Domain and Xianshan sect, then the master will definitely send experts to sit here. He will be the person in charge outside the Great Wall. Chapter 434, Zhu Wuxi, The Four Secret Agents, Yan Kuang to Experience Card. After hearing Du Wudi's words, Su Chen pondered. Now is indeed the opportunity to attack Xianshan sect. Gu Santong, you will lead this matter. Lead people to Xianshan sect, and occupy the Xianshan sect stronghold, Su Chen ordered. Okay, then I'll trouble you. Gu Santong clasped his fists towards Li Chenshao and the others. The group stood up and left quickly. Su Chen sat alone in the courtyard, looking at the 3 orange lottery cards that appeared on the disc in his mind. These were the 3 orange lottery cards that were triggered when the Yanggu appeared on Home Yufeng when he killed him. Draw directly, obtain the character card Iron-Hearted God Marcus Zhu Wuxi, obtain the 4 secret agents of Xiandi Zhuang Herong under Iron-Hearted God Marcus, and obtain 1 Yan Kuang to experience card. This, Su Chen looked at this lottery with a shocked expression. First, he directly drew Zhu Wuxi and his 4 secret agents of Hulin Villa. In addition, he drew the Yan Kuang to experience card. Zhu Wuxi's strength should be similar to Gu Santong, it may be higher or lower. After all, in the world's number 1, Zhu Wuxi absorbed the skills of so many people, and his strength is extremely strong. As for Yan Kuang too, according to reason, he is the first person in Wenshu, the father of Li Chenshao, and his strength must be absolutely strong. I have this experience card, which is definitely a big profit. Check the strength of several people. Zhu Wuxi's strength has reached the stage of concentrating in the sea, just like Gu Santong, and there is also a sign of broken void behind him. As for the 4 secret agents of Xiandi Zhuan Herong, Duan Xianaya and Gui Hideo have reached the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, but have not reached the stage of Danshan turning into sea. The little golden man Cheng Shifai's strength is in the 6 difficulties of heaven and man, and his strength is a little low. The lowest is Shengwen Heidang, whose strength is only the 1st difficulty of heaven and man. As for Yan Kuang too, Su Chen's breathing was a little rapid. The definition given here was actually in the 9 difficulties of heaven and man, the 3rd stage of the broken void level. Broken void, if I use it, will I break through the sky gate and leave directly? Su Chen thought so in his heart. Previously, he knew from some techniques that people who can break the void should be able to directly break the gate of heaven. So Su Chen had such an idea. Zhu Wuxi and Gu Santong are all the best in the world. If they are placed in the East Pavilion, Zhu Wuxi can become the Deputy Pavilion Master, Su Chen thought so. Thinking of this, Su Chen suddenly wondered whether to let the people of Qinglong Club leave. Let the East Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion occupy Xianshan sect? As soon as he had such an idea, Su Chen immediately summoned the 5 of them. Zhu Wuxi is more majestic than Gu Santong, more like the main pavilion master. But who made Zhu Wuxi come out late, so he can only be the deputy pavilion master? Duan Xianaya looked calm, and Gui Haidao exuded a terrifying sordora. Shengwen Haidang, a beautiful woman with a secluded temperament. As for Cheng Shifei, he has a gangster temperament. Meet the master. The 5 people saluted at the same time. This is my token. You can go to Xianxian sect to join Gu Santong and replace the members of Qinglong Society. From now on, you are the deputy leader of the East Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion. I believe you can understand the situation here, so I won't tell you more, Su Chen said to Zhu Wuxi. Zhu Wuxi has enough manpower, and Su Chen believes that they can quickly know the situation here. Yes, the 5 people left quickly. They still need to understand the situation here, so they didn't stay too long with Su Chen. According to their speed, they should be able to catch up with Gu Santong and his friends who just left. This trip to the frontier is very smooth, Su Chen said softly. After doing this, Su Chen also walked out of the courtyard. He also wanted to visit the market here. It's early spring now. The market is also starting to become lively. Some merchants from the interior are trading with the gathered people. Su Chen walked into a restaurant. He ordered some wine and food. He sat by the window and ate alone, listening to the conversation of these people. Do you know? The Xianxian sect is going to be finished, a big man with a beard on his face said. How can the Xianxian sect be finished? Where did you hear this news from? A man next to him said. Really, did you see the strange phenomenon between heaven and earth just now? That was the scene of the Xianxian sect's head, Hou Feng, fighting with someone. Didn't there also a strange phenomenon last time? Headmaster Hou was fine, last time he was fine, but this time he is in trouble. Headmaster Hou was killed and his body is still there, the bearded man who spoke earlier said. Not only that, the Xianxian sect's Grand Elder and Mountain Master were also killed by the Qinglong Society. The Qinglong Society is the Qinglong Society that occupies the 9 counties in the north. They don't have any grudges with the Xianxian sect. Hearing this, someone couldn't help but say. I heard that the people from the Ghost Domain paid a lot to ask the Qinglong Society to do it. This Qinglong Society is really strong, another person said. I didn't expect the news to spread here, Su Chen couldn't help but say in his heart when he heard the conversation of several people while eating and drinking. Master Su, you left so quickly. If it weren't for the fact that there are so many people in my Hanyu sect, I really couldn't find you, Master Su. At this time, a purple figure appeared in front of Su Chen. It was Zhi Hanyu. At this time, Zhi Hanyu was wearing a bamboo hat. When she sat down, a fragrance came to her face. Say girl, looking for me, Su Chen frowned slightly when he saw Zhi Hanyu appear. This Zhi Hanyu found him quickly. I want to know who killed Hou Feng, Zhi Hanyu sent a voice message to Su Chen. Don't say it, you don't know. I know you went there and must have seen the situation at that time, but why should I tell you? Su Chen said softly. If you tell me, I will tell you a secret, the secret of the goo worm on Hou Feng's body. I think when Hou Feng died, there must be a goo worm. Zhi Hanyu looked at Su Chen with a smile on his face. Goo worm. At this moment, this Yangu was enslaved by him and was still on him. According to reason, if there is yin, there must be yang. If there is Yangu, there must be Yingu. Yangu is in Hou Feng, so Yingu must be in a woman. And from what Hou Feng said, the origin of that woman should not be simple. You are talking about the Yangu in Hou Feng and the Yingu in another person. If that's it, you don't need to say anything more. When Su Chen spoke, he looked up at Zhi Hanyu. He wanted to see Zhi Hanyu's reaction. You know all this. Zhi Hanyu was stunned when she heard Su Chen's words. But she was sure that Su Chen had seen the Yangu, and he knew who killed Hou Feng. Then you must have seen who killed Hou Feng. Sell this information to me. You name the price. Zhi Hanyu looked at Su Chen and said. We, Qinglong Society, value credibility. I won't tell you. Also, I can tell you that the people from Xianaya Pavilion have already gone to Xianxian sect. In addition to Pavilion Master Gu, Xianaya Pavilion also has a deputy Pavilion Master and 4 elders. When Zhu Wuxi dealt with Xianxian sect, he would definitely take action, and his identity would definitely be known. Su Chen told the other party now because he wanted to get a favor from Zhi Hanyu. By the way, take a look at the plan of Hanyu sect. Chapter 435, Xianaya Pavilion, Dongneng Sixi Pavilion. You mean that a deputy pavilion master and 4 elders have come to the east pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion? Zhi Hanyu was stunned when she heard Su Chen's words. Master Su knows Xianaya Pavilion very well. I wonder if you can tell me briefly. Zhihanai wanted to get some information about Xianaya Pavilion from Su Chen. We, Qinglong Society, do things based on equality. Saint, you pay the corresponding reward, and I can give you some information. Su Chen looked at Zhihanai and said. It was impossible for Zhihanai to get it for free. She had to make the other party pay something. Master Su, Xianaya Pavilion has come into being, and their subsequent information will also appear one after another. However, we may have a conflict with Xianaya Pavilion, so this news is very important, so I don't know what price Master Su wants. While speaking, Zhihanai poured herself a glass of wine. The wine was mellow and had a taste of osmanthus. It was not a strong wine produced outside the Great Wall. Her eyes also looked at Su Chen. Although she and Su Chen had not met for a while, the immature feeling of Su Chen had disappeared, replaced by a more profound temperament. This temperament was vaguely domineering and authoritative. So she asked Su Chen to make the request. In her heart, she couldn't help but think of the first time she met Su Chen. He was not a playboy, but just an ordinary person. She didn't like him at all. But later, something happened. She felt that Su Chen had some ability and wanted to pull Su Chen into the Hanyu sect. However, he became the young leader of the Qinglong Society, and took charge of the martial arts world of the 9 northern counties, becoming the leader of the martial arts world of the 9 northern counties. My news is worth about 10,000 taels. Su Chen put down the wine glass in his hand and said. Although the two mouths were moving, outsiders could not hear their voices. Zhihanai took out a silver note from her arms. This is a Tongbao silver note that can be exchanged in money houses across the country in the Great Zhou dynasty. Put it on the table and push it in front of Su Chen. Su Chen put the silver note away and put it in his arms. The Xianaya Pavilion is divided into 4 major pavilions, namely the Southeast, Northwest and Northeast pavilions. Each pavilion has a main pavilion master and 2 deputy pavilion masters, and under them are elders, venerables, and 10 direction envoys. Among them, the strength of the East Pavilion is the strongest. The North Pavilion is the weakest. The East Pavilion is mainly for combat power. The South Pavilion has the strongest financial resources. The West Pavilion is the most mysterious, and the North Pavilion is mainly for intelligence information. In addition to the East Pavilion Master Gu Santong, there is also the Deputy Pavilion Master Zhu Wuxi and 4 elders. Among them, 2 elders are strong in the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. You met Guanqi before. He is an elder of the East Pavilion, and Du Wudi is just one of the 10 direction envoys. It is rumored that Zhu Wuxi has been competing with Gu Santong for the position of Pavilion Master. Although he is a Deputy Pavilion Master, his strength and means are not inferior to Gu Santong, Su Chen said. It is not good for Xianaya Pavilion to be too mysterious. It is also a good choice to have some of them appear one after another. Of course. This is also some of Su Chen's plans for Xianaya Pavilion. This Xianaya Pavilion is so strong, but this Xianaya Pavilion is so scattered. How can they get along with each other? Although the East Pavilion has the strongest combat power, the other 3 pavilions are also strong. In this case, the 4 pavilions in Xianaya Pavilion will definitely fight each other. Is this even necessary? These 4 pavilions are all in Xianaya Pavilion, and Xianaya Pavilion certainly has a Xianaya Pavilion Master, but this Pavilion Master is very mysterious. Don't ask me about this person. I don't know about this Xianaya Pavilion Master. Maybe our Qinglong Club's Dragon Head has seen him. While Su Chen was strengthening Xianaya Pavilion, he also strengthened their Qinglong Club. Chief Pavilion Master, Dragon Head, Zhihanayu's face changed at this time. He didn't expect that in addition to the 4 Pavilion Masters of Xianaya Pavilion, there was another Xianaya Pavilion Master. This Xianaya Pavilion Master must be extraordinary, otherwise how could he lead the 4 Pavilion Masters below? As for the Qinglong Club, Dragon Head, Zhihanayu didn't ask. She didn't believe that Su Chen would tell her the information about the Qinglong Society. Thank you, Master Su. I won't stay here anymore. I'm going to report this matter, otherwise, the Hanyu sect might have a conflict with the Xianaya Pavilion. Zhihanayu stood up, saluted Su Chen, and turned to leave. A very smart woman, she knows what to ask and what not to ask. Looking at Zhihanai who was leaving, Su Chen thought to himself, and then poured himself a glass of wine and drank alone. Su Chen believed that after he said this, the Hanyu sect should not have a conflict with Gu Santong and his team. I told you that the other party is strong. If they still want to clash with the Xianaya Pavilion, then it can only be said that the Hanyu sect is strong enough, or that the Xianchen sect has something they must get. It depends on how you choose, Su Chen said in his heart. One day later, a piece of news spread outside the Great Wall. Xianaya Pavilion occupies Xianchen sect, and the era of Xianchen sect has come to an end. A new overlord has arrived in the outer frontier. Inside the room, Su Chen's face showed joy when he heard the news. Congratulations to the host's subordinates for taking down the great sect Xianchen sect in the outer frontier. Trigger the reward and get 2 orange lottery cards. I didn't expect this to trigger a reward, but Gu Santong and his men occupied Xianchen sect. I have to check some of the classics of the Xianchen sect in this way. I can trigger more rewards, Su Chen thought to himself. But Zihanai was really intimidated by me and didn't take action. He really knows the times, Su Chen praised in his mouth. If Hanyu sect took action, he believed that Gu Santong and his men would not be able to take down Xianchen sect so easily. After a simple tidying up, Su Chen put on his hat and left the inn. When he left the gathering place, his face changed into that of an ordinary warrior and he headed towards Xianchen sect. At this time, in another place, Zihanyu and Elder Lin were in a private room in a restaurant. The information Su Chen gave you is correct. The deputy leader of the East Pavilion, Zhu Wuxi, who appeared, is no less powerful than Gu Santong, and among the 4 people following him, 2 are very powerful. Although none of them have Danshan Huahei, they are very powerful. Even if I talk to him, I'm afraid I might be killed if I'm not careful, Elder Lin said in a deep voice. But if we fail this mission, I'm afraid the headmaster will be in trouble, Zihanyu said in a deep voice. After getting the news from Su Chen, she discussed with Elder Lin about giving up the attack on the Xianchen sect, but they didn't take action, resulting in the failure of the mission. Don't worry about this matter. Lord Chu Kuang has already reported to the headquarters, Elder Lin said. Lord Chu Kuang is here too. Zihanai was startled when she heard Elder Lin mention Lord Chu Kuang. Saintess, you don't think that the church will send us to take down the Xianchen sect, do you? Yesterday, a strong man appeared in the Xianchen sect. The strong man's realm fell, but he was also in a sea of concentration. Gu Santong and Zhu Wuxi joined forces to kill the old man, Elder Lin said. But Lord Chu Kuang also said that the Xianaya Pavilion killed the old man in Homu Feng and caused big trouble. Let us not contact the Xianaya Pavilion and stay away from them, Elder Lin said in a deep voice. Elder Lin, do you know who is behind Homu Feng? Zihanai really wanted to know this. Lord Chu Kuang didn't say it, and I also asked around at the time. But Lord Chu Kuang never mentioned it, Elder Lin shook his head and said. Chapter 436, Shangwen Jinhong, Muren Fu, conspire to help the money gang. In the capital, in a courtyard. Muren Fu, wearing a luxurious robe, was standing in the courtyard. He was waiting for someone. Since he joined the 12th prince, Muren Fu has been doing his best to serve the 12th prince. Now he has gained enough trust. He came here to meet Shangwen Jinhong, who is lurking in the money gang. Everything in the world is running, and often it is inseparable from money. Although the 12th prince has obtained some support from forces, he still lacks a lot in terms of financial resources. So Muren Fu suggested that the 12th prince contact the money gang and find a way to take down the money gang. The second gang leader Jin Yuding is now in power in the money gang. Shangwen Jinhong and Jing Wuming have become the guardians beside Jin Yuding. Of course, the main reason why Shangwen Jinhong and others can become the guardians of Jin Yuding so quickly is that Golden Wind and Rain Tower provided enough information about Jin Yuding. Only by being good at using everything can you get to the top as soon as possible. What kind of person is Shangwen Jinhong? He has an extraordinary grasp of the world and people's hearts. Creak. The courtyard door was opened. Shangwen Jinhong, dressed in a tight suit, walked in. At this time, Shangwen Jinhong's face had changed. There was a murderous aura on his body, and the arrogance and domineering in his eyes disappeared. Shangwen Jinhong and Jing Wuming had both fought in Lingnan County. So the two got some human skin masks from Su Chen, and of course they also learned some disguise techniques from Su Chen. Shangwen Jinhong entered the courtyard. He saw Muren Fu, who had a face like a jade plate and a body like a jade tree, a handsome gentleman. Hello, brother Shangwen, Muren Fu bowed. Brother Murin is polite, Shangwen Jinhong said. Prepare some light wine, let's go in and chat, Murin Fu said. In the room, Xiao Royan slowly took some wine and food out of the basket, then closed the door and stood in the courtyard. Brother Murin, you are so lucky, Shangwen Jinhong said with a smile as he looked at Xiao Royan who was leaving. Please sit down, Murin Fu waved his hand, and after Shangwen Jinhong sat down, he poured Shangwen Jinhong a glass of wine and said, this time I asked Brother Shangwen to come here mainly for some things in the money gang. The 12th Prince Liu he is short of money, and he wants to get support from the money gang. I think this is an opportunity, so I asked Brother Shangwen to discuss this matter. Murin Fu poured himself a glass while speaking. Hearing Murin Fu's words, Shangwen Jinhong frowned slightly. Brother Murin, although I have become the guardian of Jin Yuding has not let me manage the internal affairs of the money gang. Shangwen Jinhong has joined the money gang for some time. After becoming the guardian of Jin Yuding, he has not made many breakthroughs. Recently, the former general manager sent a letter, hoping that I can support the Jiangnan beggar gang. The flood there is an opportunity for the development of the beggar gang, but too much silver is consumed, Shangwen Jinhong said in a deep voice. Brother Shangwen, don't you think of a way to crack it? Murin Fu said. There's a way, but manpower is a problem. When he said this, Shangwen Jinhong looked at Murin Fu, and a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. I was worried about the manpower problem before. But now it shouldn't be a problem. Brother Murin recently conquered the Iron Palm gang in Mengcheng. Maybe he can help me turn this situation around. Shangwen Jinhong took a sip of wine. Brother Shangwen, although I have conquered the Iron Palm gang in Mengcheng, many things cannot be done for the time being. After all, I am helping the 12th Prince Liu He to control the Iron Palm gang. I'm afraid that if I use those people, the news may leak out, which will be disadvantageous to me, Murin Fu said. No need to hide it from him. Did the 12th Prince send someone to contact the Jiqian gang this time? Jin Yuding should not be able to stand on the side of the 12th Prince now, so Liu He should support others to take the position. If I replace Jin Yuding, then I can cooperate with Liu He. I think Liu He is willing to cooperate with me, Shangwen Jinhong said. But I'm afraid that the 12th Prince won't believe it. I've been in contact with the 12th Prince for a while. He looks careless on the outside, but he's very thoughtful, Murin Fu said. If you give him benefits, won't he believe it? I recently got a route map in time for the silver that the Jiqian gang transported back. The person in charge of this route is Wei Xingen, the left-hand man of Jin Yuding's most trusted right-hand man. You said he was responsible for the money being robbed on the route. Will it be his fault then? But this batch of silver, I want to share half with the 12th Prince Liu He. I think Liu He will support me more when he sees the silver. After getting the silver, I will quickly transport this batch of silver to Jiangnan to the Qiao gang leader, Shangwen Jinhong said. If Liu He sees the silver, he will indeed agree, but you have to be careful here. There is a woman next to Liu He, who is from the Shadow Gate. There are many spies around the capital. When you transport the silver, you must make arrangements, Murin Fu said. I will secretly notify Golden Wind and Rain Tower, and let them make the arrangements, Shangwen Jinhong said. Then Murin Fu learned about the situation in detail, and after a while he said, after we finish talking about the matter, let's have a good drink. Murin Fu picked up the wine glass. In the evening, the two of them left the courtyard one after another. As soon as Murin Fu left, he went to the residence of the 12th Prince Liu He. Now the flow of people in front of the 12th Prince Liu He is no less than that of the 9 ruling princes. Because the 12th Prince has got some real power at this time, the world is bustling for profit, and the world is bustling for profit. Being in power means having interests. People are like this. If there are interests, people will come. Hello, Mr. Murin. The guard bowed to Murin Fu, and Murin Fu soon came to the hall. In the hall, the 12th Prince was receiving a middle-aged man in Confucian clothes and thin face, with a faint official aura. He was the newly appointed city guard of Mengcheng around the capital. Although it is only a city, Mengcheng is close to the capital and has a special status. The city keeper of Mengcheng is no worse than the governors of the 9 counties in Lingnan. Mr. Murin. Qin Chang Shou, the two greeted each other, and then Murin Fu saluted Liu He and said, Meet your Highness, Your Highness. Mr. Murin should have something to do here, so I will take my leave first. Qin Chang Shou bowed and said. The 12th Prince waved his hand. Qin Chang Shou bowed and left. Murin is so anxious to find me. Is there something, Your Highness? Today I have an appointment with Sheng Wenhe, the guardian of Jin Yuding of the money gang. Sheng Wenhe is very ambitious and wants to replace Jin Yuding's left and right arms. He wants to cooperate with us. While speaking, Murin Fu stepped forward and said something in the ear of the 12th Prince Liu He. The 12th Prince listened to Murin Fu's words, and a gleam of light flashed in his eyes. You mean this batch of 2 million silver is going to enter the money gang of the capital? Liu He said in a low voice. Yes, but Sheng Wenhe wants half of the silver, Murin Fu said. It's a win-win situation, so it's okay to give him half, but tell him that he can only take 20% the first time, and he can only take 20% next time, Liu He said. He has been worried about money recently. Before he had some power, he had enough money, but after he got power, there were too many people eating, causing him to spend more than he earned. He needs to make money, crazy money. Chapter 437, Shadow Gate, Sect Leader, Namhe Chamber of Commerce. Then I will go and make arrangements. I may need to mobilize the Iron Palm Gang in Mangcheng, Murin Fu said. You can mobilize them. You are the one who is in contact with the Iron Palm Gang now. You can arrange it according to your ideas. The 12th Prince Liu He looked at Murin Fu and said. His face showed appreciation. Murin Fu saw through some things very clearly. He reported everything, but he never concealed his ambitions. Liu He admired such people very much. Qin Cheng Xiao, who just left, you can move around more, Liu He said afterwards. I will arrange the affairs of the money gang here and help His Highness get back what he needs as soon as possible, Murin Fu said. After speaking, Murin Fu did not stay here. Not only Liu He was in urgent need of funds, but also Qiao Feng and Jiangnan, so he had to grab the silver from the money gang as soon as possible. After Murin Fu left, Hong Luo, who was wearing red clothes from the Shadow Gate, walked out from the back hall. You're going to let Murin Fu do this? Are you so confident? Hong Luo said as he looked at Murin Fu, who was leaving. The money gang was promoted by Murin Fu. If you promote it, I can also let you do it, but we can't be careless about this matter. You, Shadow Gate, should also send people to keep an eye on it, but remember, just watch, don't move. Liu He looked at Hong Luo and said. Your Highness, don't worry. We, Shadow Gate, will definitely track down the whole process of this matter, Hong Luo bowed. It is rumored that the descendants of Chang Shenghu and Bulao Tang have appeared. Does your Shadow Gate have any clues about this descendant? The 12th Prince said. For now, it's just rumors outside, but no one has seen the descendants of these two mysterious forces. However, we, Shadow Gate, are looking for them, and I believe we will find them soon, Hong Luo said in a deep voice. Is that so? Try to find them as much as possible. If I can get their support, my chances of winning will be greater. Also, your Shadow Sect Master, when will you meet me? Now that I have the power to rule as the 9th Emperor, your Sect Master has not met me, which shows that he is not sincere. The 12th Prince looked at Hong Luo and said. The Sect Master should come out of seclusion in a month, and will meet your Highness at that time, Hong Luo said. Okay, you will arrange it then. I really want to meet your Sect Master who has never shown up, Liu He said. Then your Highness, I will arrange people here first to keep an eye on Murin Fu's affairs, Hong Luo bowed and said. Liu He nodded. Hong Luo bowed and walked out of the banquet hall. After leaving Liu He's mansion, there was already a carriage waiting outside the door. Hong Luo entered the carriage. A woman wearing a veil was in the carriage. Her face could not be seen clearly, but there was a hint of coldness in her eyes. Meet the Sect Master. Hong Luo entered the carriage and saluted the woman. How many of the forces and people that Liu He has gathered can we control? The veiled woman said. Liu He has been deliberately avoiding me recently. I haven't been able to grasp many things in the first place. Recently, he has been using a man named Murin Fu. This man helped him conquer the Iron Palm Gang in Mangcheng, and also got in touch with the people of the Money Gang. They want to rob a batch of silver that the Money Gang transported to the capital. Liu He asked me to monitor this Murin Fu, and he wants to meet with you, the leader. I will follow your previous instructions and say that you can meet him after 1 month when you come out of seclusion, Hong Luo said in a deep voice. Liu He took action against the Money Gang. He is really brave. What do you think of this Murin Fu? Can we gather him for our use? The veiled woman said. This man is very ambitious and has never concealed it. If we want to win him over, we must give him enough power, which we cannot do, and I'm afraid that this Murin Fu was sent out by Liu He to test us, Hong Luo said in a deep voice. Is that so? Then I will go and contact this Murin Fu in person, the veiled woman said. It's not appropriate for the sect master to contact Murin Fu in person. If Murin Fu is someone sent out by Liu He, your identity will be, Hong Luo couldn't help but say. I know this. Find the heirs of Bulao Deng and Chang Shenghu as soon as possible. If we can't find them, we will get them from other forces. I understand, Hong Luo responded. Recently, the funds of Marcus Anking have also been in trouble. He has been trying to invest in our Namhe Chamber of Commerce. His previous source of funds was the Money Gang. Jin Yuding does not support him now. You can tell the 12th Prince about this, or you can get in touch with this line through Madame Anking. The Money Gang has been able to stand firm in the Great Zhou dynasty for so many years. It's not that no one has plotted against them, but the Money Gang still exists. We can't underestimate its foundation. I heard some rumors that Jin Fihong, the leader of the Money Gang, may be one of the several managers of Zhenwu Garden. It is possible that touching the Money Gang will lead to people from Zhenwu Garden, so try to promote the cooperation between Liu He and Marcus Anking, the veiled woman continued. Hearing this, Na Hongluo was slightly startled. She didn't expect that the Money Gang would be related to Zhenwu Garden. The carriage moved forward on the street and slowly entered the crowd and disappeared. Jin Feng Xiaoyu Tower. How is the investigation of the president of the Nanhe Chamber of Commerce going? Bai Tianyu looked at Nalan Rongayan and said. The investigation data is limited. The president of the Namhe Chamber of Commerce rarely shows up, and when she does, she wears a veil. When I contact her, it is also through the veil. There is a layer of subtle energy on the veil, which blocks my investigation. As for the identity of this person, I only found out that he came from Hainan, and I didn't find any specific clues. I wanted to buy information about this person from other forces, but the information I got was different. I am sorting out this information, hoping to find some useful information, Nalan Rongayan said. Don't collect too much information about this person. For us, this person is not that important. Put down your work now. There is an important thing that needs you to do. Bai Tianyu told him what Shengwen Jinhong and Murin Fu discussed. Murin Fu and Shengwen Jinhong are worried that the 12th Prince has an arrangement and may monitor them, so they want us to help. After they succeed, quickly disperse this batch of silver and transport it to Jiangnan. Bai Tianyu said. Jiangnan? Do we have people there too? Nalan Rongayan asked in surprise. The longer I followed Bai Tianyu, the more I felt the power of Xianaya Pavilion behind Jinfeng Xiaolao. At this moment, a member of Jinfeng Xiaolao appeared outside the door. Master, news from the outside. The member bowed outside the door. Come in, Bai Tianyu said. After the disciple came in, he handed the secret letter to Bai Tianyu and bowed out of the room. Bai Tianyu opened the secret letter and showed surprise on his face. Then he handed the secret letter to Nalan Rongayan. Chapter 438, Jinfeng Xiaoyu Tower, Beggar's Sect, Yetihu and Evil Alliance. Nalan Rongayan looked at Bai Tianyu's surprised expression and took the secret letter handed over by Bai Tianyu. After reading it, Nalan Rongayan's face showed horror. Dong joined hands with Qinglong Society to destroy Xianchen sect outside the Great Wall, and Dong occupied Xianchen sect. Nalan Rongayan's voice was filled with disbelief. She knew very well about Xianchen sect. The 9 northern counties were close to the Great Wall, and she knew about Xianchen sect outside the Great Wall. Although it had been silent for 20 years, Xianchen sect was still strong. Dong's Pavilion Master Gu Santong and Deputy Pavilion Master Zhu Wuxi, 2C concentrated masters, took action, and with the Qinglong Society, led by the young master, it was not a problem to take down Xianchen sect. Bai Tianyu said. Master, I am actually very curious about the identity of the young master, Nalan Rongayan said. Bai Tianyu knew what Nalan Rongayan meant. Su Chen was the young dragon leader of Qinglong Society, but he was also related to Xianaya Pavilion. Although she had some vague guesses about Su Chen's specific identity in Xianaya Pavilion, she was not sure. Young master, from my address, you can know that the young master of Xianaya Pavilion is second only to one person in terms of status. In fact, it is similar to what you guessed in your heart. So sometimes, you can offend the masters of the pavilions, but you can't offend the young master, Bai Tianyu said in a deep voice. Although the strength of the masters of the pavilions is very strong, Yi and Future are in charge of the North Pavilion and are in charge of Golden Wind and Rainy Rain Tower, on the surface, but to be honest, in all aspects, Bai Tianyu still follows Su Chen's orders. Young master, now we are making arrangements in Jiangnan. After a while, a force called Beggar Gang will appear in Jiangnan. The person who appears is the young master's direct descendant. The leader of the gang is called Feng, and his strength is in the 9 difficulties of heaven and man. He may soon be able to condense the spirit in the sea. In the future, this beggar gang may become one of the main sources of intelligence for our Golden Wind and Rainy Rain Tower, Bai Tianyu said. Once the beggars gang develops in the Great Zhou dynasty, it will definitely be beneficial to them, Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. He can cooperate with the beggars gang. Beggars gang, hearing this, Nalan Rongyuan frowned slightly. She didn't quite understand what this gang was. A gang composed of beggars from all over the world. You said that having such a group of people would be very beneficial to us, Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, Bai Tianyu said. Hearing this, Nalan Rongyuan's expression changed. Although the Great Zhou dynasty unified the world, there was a huge gap between the rich and the poor. The gentry, the martial arts families, the court officials, and the sects were the real nobles. There were many civilians at the bottom, and many people became beggars because they couldn't eat. If a gang was composed of beggars, it would definitely become the force with the most members in the Great Zhou dynasty. The world's largest gang, Bai Tianyu said. Although it won't be the world's strongest force, it definitely has the most people. Young master, are you going to dominate the world? Nalan Rongyuan asked with some surprise. It depends on the young master's heart to fight for the world, but the young master is determined to become the world's martial arts overlord, Bai Tianyu said. In this world, the martial arts overlord is actually the strongest ruler. If Emperor Zhou is not strong, then his dynasty can only become a subsidiary of the sect. The kingship is determined by hegemony. If Su Chen becomes the martial arts overlord, then he is the real overlord of the world, even more powerful than Emperor Zhou of the Great Zhou. But this road is not easy to walk. Nalan Rongyuan thought in her heart, but she somewhat understood Su Chen's purpose. After entering the capital, she knew a lot of secrets. It is rumored that Emperor Zhou's fight for the world is to collect the world's luck to break through the void and enter the gate of heaven. Su Chen became the overlord of the world, broke through the void and entered the gate of heaven, and pursued the ultimate in martial arts. What's wrong with that? I will definitely assist the owner of the building to fulfill the young master's wish, Nalan Rongyuan said. We are a little slow in making plans in Jiangnan. After Shangwen Jinhong and his team get the silver, I want you to go to Jiangnan in person, meet with the leader Qiao of the Beggars sect, and take my token to meet the owner of Wuqi Villa, Liang Changbi. He will help you then, Bai Tianyu said. Bai Tianyu felt a little bitter when he spoke. There were not many masters on his side. Especially those from their Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. I am afraid to go alone to escort this batch of silver, Nalan Rongyuan said with a frown. She had no problem going to Jiangnan, but she was afraid of danger on the way with the silver. Mr. Leng and Mr. Bai, they will arrive tomorrow, and they will escort you there, Bai Tianyu said. Although Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower was famous, it was a little weak in strength, so some time ago, Su Chen transferred Bai Tianyu and Leng Hushan over. Guan Qi had already appeared outside the Great Wall, cooperating with Tugu Wudi and becoming a member of the East Pavilion. It is not appropriate to come to Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. Moreover, Guan Qi will not be inferior to him, Bai Tianyu. Although Leng Hushan and Bai Tianyu are also overlords, they are different from Guan Qi. Then I am relieved, with the support of the resources from the young master, the strength of Leng Hushan and Bai Tianyu will definitely be greatly improved. There should be no problem in escorting her to Jiangnan. The 12th Prince Liu he is a man of deep scheming. There are people from Shadow Gate beside him. They may be watching this action. You should be careful to contact them. I will apply to the master to see if some masters can be sent, Bai Tianyu said. Can't we apply to the North Pavilion? Nalan Rongyuan asked. The East Pavilion has a pavilion master and a deputy pavilion master in the frontier, and 4 elders have appeared. The North Pavilion must have them too. Their Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower is in the North Pavilion, and they should have such members. Bai Tianyu felt a little bitter when he heard Nalan Ronggai's words. Now, except for the Pavilion Master and Deputy Pavilion Master, the North Pavilion is all flowery. There is no one at all, and support is not available. But this matter cannot be told to Nalan Ronggaian yet. It's good that the 2 Pavilion Masters of the North Pavilion can support me. Didn't I tell you before? Although our Golden Wind and Rain Tower is under the North Pavilion, it is under the young master. Sometimes we can only rely on ourselves. If it doesn't work, I will ask the young master to dispatch some people from the Green Dragon Society to help us, but I will write to the young master about this matter and see what the young master thinks, Bai Tianyu said afterwards. He did want Chen to send some people. Yidi and future can't appear often. Once they don't appear, they may face provocations from some forces, and this sign has already appeared vaguely. Some forces in charge of the capital have begun to move against them vaguely. Once this slenderness appears, it won't be long before someone will step on the line. While they were talking, suddenly, the window of the attic was shaken open by a strong wind, and 2 figures flashed in. It was Emperor of the Night and future. The 3 leaders of the Evil League asked us to meet in Xiangcheng near the capital tomorrow. We will leave today. After meeting the 3 leaders of the Evil League, if there is nothing else, we will leave the capital, Emperor of the Night said. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 439, The Grand Protector is getting older. Murin Qingjin expects Chen to come to Beijing. The 3rd leader of the Evil Alliance asked you to meet. The Evil Alliance lost 2 people in Feng Jiazhuang some time ago, and is being pursued by the Heavenly Supervision Department. They want to meet you at this time. Bai Tianyu was a little confused. Are you afraid that he has some plans? After hearing this, Evil Emperor said in a deep voice. Evil Alliance is ruthless. I am afraid that they have some plans when they come to you at this time. After all, we gave the long sword to Murin Qingjin. I am afraid that they will transfer the loss of Feng Jiazhuang to our Golden Wind and Rain Tower. Bai Tianyu said. We will pay attention to this. After the meeting, we will inform you of the meeting situation, Emperor Knight said. Sir, Emperor Knight, this is the news from the outside of the Great Wall. Please take a look. Bai Tianyu glanced at Nalan Ronggaian. Nalan Ronggaian handed the secret letter to Yidi. Yidi frowned slightly after reading it and handed it to Ruhao. Beside him, Ruhao's expression seemed very calm. Let this news out. I think even if Zhu Meng has any action, they will think deeply about it. We came here to say goodbye to you. By the way, please help us say hello to the young master, Ruhao said, looked at Yidi, and said, we should also leave. After that, he left first. Yidi left without saying anything else. After the 2 left, Nalan Ronggaian stepped forward to close the window and said, should we send someone to pay attention to the situation over there? No, you send out the situation outside the Great Wall now. I think Zhu Meng will be similar to what Ruhao expected. Of course, even if Zhu Meng takes action with Yidi and Ruhao, there should be no problem with safety. Bai Tianyu said, Emperor of the Night, and, in the future, can fight against a strong man who is concentrating in the sea. Yes, I will arrange it now. After saying that, Nalan Ronggaian bowed and retreated. At this time, Bai Tianyu walked to the table and pulled out a portrait from the table. The portrait showed an old man in brocade clothes, with white hair on his temples, a scholar's temperament, and looked extremely gentle and elegant. Taibao is close to him. Bai Tianyu's goal. Although King Longhu may have some conflicts with the eldest prince, they, Golden Wind and Rain Tower, our intelligence forces, and there is no conflict. Bai Tianyu had contacted this person in secret before. Now that Xian'ai Pavilion has destroyed Xianchen sect outside the Great Wall, I believe their contact will be smoother. Chen's intention before was to contact Bai Tianyu with the Murin Qingjin to promote cooperation between them. In that case, Xianjianxi, under Murin Qingjin's control, can become one of the sources of wealth behind him. But after some contact, he always felt that Murin Qingjin and the Heavenly Supervision Division had a feeling of mismatch. This was Bai Tianyu's intuition. He didn't say it clearly, perhaps because Murin Qingshan had just taken over the Heavenly Supervision Division. But as someone sent to the capital by Su Chen, he would not wait for Murin Qingshan to truly take charge of the Heavenly Supervision Division, and he needed to develop the resources of the capital himself. The eldest prince failed in the 9 northern counties and launched an offensive in Jiangnan, but the forces in the Jiangnan region were intertwined, so progress was slow. This was his chance. Bai Tianyu. Many things require participation in order to better understand the trend ahead. When Bai Tianyu was thinking, the intelligence from the outside of the Great Wall had already arrived in the capital. One of the secret reports was delivered to Murin Qingshan of the Heavenly Supervision Division. The Xiantian sect in the outer frontier was destroyed by the East Pavilion of Xian'ai Pavilion. The attackers were the East Pavilion Master Gu Santong and the Deputy Pavilion Master Zhu Wuxi. Both of them were masters of concentrating the mind in the sea. Looking at the secret report in her hand, Murin Qingshan frowned slightly. She was not too shocked when the North Pavilion of Xian'ai Pavilion, Yi Di and Ri Hao, appeared before, but this time, 2 masters of concentrating the mind in the sea appeared in the East Pavilion of Xian'ai Pavilion. This made her pay more attention. Among them, the Qinglong Society was also involved in this matter. Hou Mufang's death may have been caused by the Qinglong Society, and Xian'ai Pavilion, East Pavilion Master Gu Santong's joint siege. At that time, 3 heaven and earth phenomena appeared where Hou Mufang fought. One of the phenomena showed an iron-blooded momentum, which was different from the divine momentum of Xian'ai Pavilion, Deputy Pavilion Master Zhu Wuxi. Therefore, according to the judgment of Xian Jianxi, it should be that the Qinglong Society sent a sea-concentrated spirit strongman to help Gu Santong, Kwei said in a deep voice. Qinglong Society is also involved in this matter. It seems that Xian'ai Pavilion has given a lot of rewards and dispatched so many people, Murin Qingshan said. Miss, do you think we should find a way to transfer Su Chen from the 9 northern counties to the capital to help you, young lady? Kwei said at this time. Now Su Chen is the leader of the martial arts world of the 9 northern counties. If he comes to the capital to help young lady should be able to open up the situation in the capital, Kwei said so. Hearing Kwei's words, Murin Qingshan pondered. Although she took over the Xianjian division, it was not as easy as she thought. There were many confidants, and she lacked help. The Xianjian division has strict procedures for transfers. It is not that she, as the head of the Xianjian division, can transfer it whenever she wants. Not to mention the Battle of Feng Jiazhuang. The loss of one of the 3 elders of the Xianjian division is not good news for her. Miss, this Su Chen has a close relationship with Bai Tianyu of Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. If he comes to the capital, young lady may be able to get some support from Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. In the battle outside the Great Wall, Xian'ai Pavilion, behind Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, showed strong strength. Miss, we must fight for it, Kwei said so. I'll think about this matter carefully and see what conditions I can offer to get Su Chen to come to the capital to help me, Murin Qingshan said after thinking for a moment. She couldn't use the help from the 4th prince for the time being, mainly because the 4th prince was also suppressed now. The fight between the 9 princes was already fierce, and now with the rise of some other princes, she felt that the capital was going to be in turmoil. Father, what do you think? Murin Qingshan pondered. The current situation in the Great Zhou dynasty was absolutely related to her father's seclusion. How is the investigation of the Evil League? Do you have any clues? Murin Qingshan asked. We have got a clue here. Tomorrow, the 3 leaders of the Evil League will meet with Yidi and Future in Xianchang outside the capital. Should we take action against them? Kwei said in a deep voice. They are going to meet. We must find a way to take down the 3rd leader of the Evil League. I will go to see Mr. Situ and ask him to do it personally. Murin Qingshan's eyes flashed with a cold light. Chapter 440, Changes outside the Great Wall lead to changes in the capital. Mr. Situ, as mentioned by Murin Qingshan, is the eldest of the 3 elders of the Heavenly Supervision Division, and a powerful sea-concentrated spirit master. He is also the strongest fighting force left to Murin Qingshan by the previous Heavenly Supervision Division chief. With Mr. Situ's action, the 3 leaders of the Evil Alliance will surely not be able to escape. If the 3 leaders of the Evil Alliance are captured by our Heavenly Supervision Division, when they meet with Yidi, and future, then there should be no possibility for the Evil Alliance and Xianaya Pavilion to join forces. This is a win-win situation for us, Kwei said softly. Keep a close eye on this matter, and also let them notify us in time about the situation in the 9 northern counties and the frontier. Don't delay. While Murin Qingchen was speaking, she stood up. She was going to ask Mr. Sitcha to take action tomorrow. When she set off. In the capital, the situation outside the frontier also spread quickly. Late at night. In the underground secret room of Ke Jing's mansion. Ke Jing came to sit cross-legged, with streams of white and blood-colored qi flowing through his body. They looked distinct, but they were also interconnected. These qi flows intertwined with each other and finally merged into his body. In his body, the Danshan turned into sea. One side was white and the other side was blood-colored, and the strong qi power continued to nourish his body. Suddenly, he opened his eyes, and the white and blood-colored qi outside his body were all absorbed into his body. He said, "Come in." Then the door of the secret room was pushed open. A woman in a black dress appeared in the secret room. "Prime Minister, the secret letter from the outside is about Xianaya Pavilion." The person handed the secret letter to Ke Jing. "Xianaya Pavilion, outside the Great Wall, are they also taking action outside the Great Wall?" Ke Jing took the secret letter with some doubts. After opening the secret letter, Ke Jing's face became solemn. Gu Santong, the head of the East Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion, and Zhu Wuxi, the deputy head of the East Pavilion, are powerful people who concentrate their spirits in the sea. They killed Hou Mufang and occupied Xianshan sect. According to the news, Hou Mufang should have been killed by Gu Santong and the people of Qinglong society. Zhu Wuxi's divine power is different from the divine power of the people who fought with Hou Mufang at that time, the visitor said. Qinglong society, Xianaya Pavilion, I will meet Yidi and Rihao tomorrow. If we can reach a cooperation, we can speed up the movement here. Ke Jing contacted Yidi and Rihao at this time because he wanted to cooperate with him. Prime Minister, Yidi and Rihao gave the sword you needed to Murin Qingchen last time, causing us to lose 2 masters. I am afraid that we need to be more cautious this time, the woman in the black skirt said in a deep voice. You don't need to ask more about this matter, just arrange the time. Ke Jing waved his hand. As for the failure of Feng Jiazhuang, it was his fault, and he would not blame others. How is the situation in Jiangnan? Ke Jing said afterwards. The flood has begun to spread. It is estimated that there will be some refugees in a short time, and the plague will also occur. The plague medicine has been stockpiled, no outbreak, the medicine is not allowed to flow out. The woman in the black skirt reported. This matter must be done well, and there must be no mistakes, Ke Jing ordered. Don't worry, sir, the object we choose to cooperate with this time is Liao, the direct descendant of the Lai family. With his participation, there will be absolutely no problems, the woman in the black skirt replied. Hearing the words of the woman in the black skirt, Ke Jing nodded and said, there must be no mistakes in the affairs of Jiangnan. You go to Jiangnan in person, Jiangnan is their pilot project, so he attaches great importance to it. Hearing Ke Shuang's words, the woman in the black skirt was puzzled. With the help of the Lai family, they will not have any problems in obtaining benefits this time. I don't know why the sir attaches so much importance to it. But she didn't dare to disobey Ke Jing's order. I will leave for Jiangnan right away, the woman in the black skirt bowed. Let Chu San go with you, Ke Jing ordered. Yes, the woman in black skirt left the secret room. Ke Jing also walked out of the secret room and came to the banquet hall in the courtyard. There was no one else in the banquet hall. But when he stepped into the banquet hall, a black shadow appeared in the dark. I will go with you to meet that Emperor of Night and Future, the black shadow said in a deep voice. They are afraid that something will happen to me. My strength has improved compared to the past few days. Even if Emperor of Night concentrates his mind in the sea, it will be difficult to keep me, Ke Jing said. Emperor of Night and Future, they should not attack you. After all, we have no conflict of interest. I always feel that there is a big hand behind me pushing something. I am afraid that other people will attack you this time. Your current identity and status are very important to us, and there must be no problems, so I will follow you, the black shadow said in a deep voice. Is that so? Then you can come with me, and by the way, we can also evaluate the cooperation with Xianaya Pavilion, Ke Jing said. The descendants of Bulao Dang and Chang Shenghu have appeared. You must find them, If we can cooperate with them, it will be extremely beneficial to us, the black-robed man said in a deep voice. We are already investigating, but I am afraid that someone has released a smoke screen. Logically, Bulao Deng and Chang Shenghu should not appear at this time. It is not the time of chaos yet, Ke Jing said. Maybe the chaos is about to begin? If Emperor Zhou does not come out for a while, the world will inevitably be in turmoil. In the martial arts world, as long as there is an opportunity, many people will strive for this opportunity. The Qinglonghu and Xianaya Pavilion that have appeared now, as well as the ancient Qi sect in the South China Sea, the Five Poison Demon sect in the Chuanayan area, etc. These forces will not appear for no reason, the black-robed man said. After hearing what the black-robed man said, Ke Jing pondered for a moment and said, the chaos will gather in the chaos, and I guess there are people who have the same idea as us. Let's go. Let's set off to Xiangcheng, Ke Jing said. While he was talking, his face changed, and he became an ordinary-looking middle-aged man, and quietly left the left prime minister's mansion. The eldest prince's mansion. The eldest prince was playing chess with an old man in brocade robes. Teacher. We are making slow progress in the Jiangnan area. Do we need to increase our manpower? The eldest prince put down the white chess piece in his hand. There was a strong offensive momentum on the chess piece. It is unlikely that the Jiangnan area will expand. Previously, we just wanted to dampen their spirits, not really expand our power range. Now that our goal has been achieved, we should shrink. We now need to find new foreign aid. The old man in brocade robes opposite him put down the black chess piece in his hand and said softly. The black chess piece fell, and the mountains and forests were silent, blocking the fierce momentum of the previous white chess, and a new momentum appeared faintly. Teacher, you have a new target here, the eldest prince spoke without putting down the chess piece. Recently, Bai Tianyu from Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower has contacted me several times, thinking about cooperating with us. I have been hesitant before, and I am not optimistic about this, Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower, but today a message came from the north, which made me change my mind. I think we can contact Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower for mutual benefit, the old man in brocade robe said. From the conversation between the two, we can know that the old man in brocade robe is another mentor of the eldest prince, the current grand tutor of the great Zhou dynasty, Nian Jinglin. My wife has been sick these 2 days, and it is very inconvenient to live with the children at a relative's house, but it seems that she will not be able to stand it for long. Chapter 441, Zhenwu Taoist Temple, the eldest prince's thoughts, and the alliance with Qinglong Society. We can cooperate, but I want them to show some sincerity. Recently, the seventh prince contacted Yanshan and obtained a batch of high-quality ice jade stones, which are on the way to the capital. If they can help me get them, it's okay to cooperate with them, the eldest prince said. The seventh prince is practicing the northern ice mysterious art, and he probably wants to use this ice jade stone to improve his strength. If the Golden Phoenix Drizzle Tower seizes this batch of ice jade stones, in addition, the seventh prince's mentor, Master Take-Su, died at the hands of the Qinglong Society, and there is also the shadow of the Golden Wind Drizzle Tower. Combined with the two, we have established a powerful opponent for the seventh prince. A force without an opponent cannot stand in the capital, the Taibao said to himself. Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower has contact with Qingchen, and Qingchen is in charge of the Heavenly Supervision Bureau. Logically, it would be more beneficial for her to cooperate with the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower. Why didn't their cooperation go ahead? If the Golden Wind and Drizzle Tower cooperates with the Heavenly Supervision Bureau, it will also be beneficial to us, the eldest prince said in a deep voice. Your Highness, you think things are a bit simple. The role of Heavenly Supervision Division depends mainly on who is in charge. Under Muren Qingchen's leadership, Heavenly Supervision Division is at most an empty shell. What's more, when Zhu Pingsheng left, he only left 3 elders to Muren Qingchen. Now that Nijia Ansha died in the hands of Evil Alliance, there are only 2 left. Among the 2, Sita Sheng is the strongest. It was previously rumored that he had been in seclusion for several years and had successfully stepped into the sea to concentrate his mind, but concentrating the mind in the sea also has strengths and weaknesses. Sita Sheng's own blood and vitality are declining. I guess he should have relied on drugs to break through and step into the steppe, so his divine power is very weak. So, Heavenly Supervision Division Can't become a knife in Murin Qingshan's hands, Nian Jinlin said in a deep voice. Teacher, what do you mean? Heavenly supervision division is still in the hands of my father. The eldest prince frowned slightly and said in a deep voice. It must be in your majesty's hands. Xian Jianzi is your majesty's sword, just like a sword repairer. Would he give the sword to other people at will? Your majesty's absence does not mean that he does not ask questions, but I still haven't figured out the purpose of your majesty's doing so. Nian Jinlin frowned as he spoke. Yes, if my father wanted to abdicate, the throne of the great Zhou emperor should be passed to me, the eldest son, but he created a 9-prince ruling. He wants us to fight each other, and eventually one of them will become the crown prince and inherit his throne. Before, I thought that my strength would increase, I would be able to overwhelm the other 8 and become the crown prince, but I didn't expect to be calculated and lose the 9 northern counties and Qinglong Temple, and now those princes who didn't get the 9 emperor ruling position are also beginning to emerge. These people should have obtained the permission of my father, otherwise they would not emerge. Teacher, what do you think my father wants to do? The eldest prince said with some unwillingness in his tone. Your Highness, you should relax. As long as His Majesty does not break the void and enter the heavenly gate, his position as the Lord of the Great Zhou will not fall into the hands of anyone. At that time, His Majesty successfully entered the broken level with the world's fortune. According to reason, he could break the void, but His Majesty did not do it, but chose to retreat. I thought His Majesty wanted to stabilize his fortune, but His Majesty has not asked about the affairs of the court in recent years, which makes me very confused. Now many people speculate that His Majesty may have a hidden illness. The court and the rivers and lakes are changing. Nian Jinlin sighed, and then said, we just need to understand these things. Now our main goal is to continue to increase the strength on my side. Teacher is right. I don't know if the teacher has any ideas about Qingsa Temple. It is rumored that Qingsa Temple is not going to support the 7th prince anymore, the eldest prince said in a deep voice. Because of the death of Taixia Zhenren, Qingsa Temple has an unclear attitude towards the 7th prince, and I got the news that they are already looking for other people, and the people they are looking for may not be the 9 princes in charge, Nian Jinlin said. Not one of the 9 ruling princes. Has the teacher received any information? The eldest prince was startled and asked. One of the holy places of Taoism, Zhenwu Taoist Temple, has sent a descendant down the mountain. This descendant has already arrived at Qingsa Temple and is preparing to come to the capital with Yu Yuanbing, the eldest disciple of Qingsa Temple, Nian Jinlin said. Someone from Zhenwu Taoist Temple has come down the mountain. I wonder who this person is. The name is Mu Qingxuan. It is said that she has cultivated one of the 3 unique skills of Zhenwu Taoist Temple, Zhenwu Supreme Sword Art. I don't know her specific strength for the time being, Nian Jinlin said in a deep voice. If I can get the recognition of Mu Qingxuan from Zhenwu Taoist Temple, can I get in touch with the Taoist sect and get their support? The eldest prince said with a happy look on his face. The power of Taoism is very strong in the Great Zhou dynasty. If he can get the support of Zhenwu Taoist Temple and Qingsa Temple, he can not only make up for the power he lost in the 9 northern counties before, but also further enhance his power. Your Highness, let's see how they react after they arrive in the capital. If they don't go to visit the 7th prince, then maybe we can make some contact. And what does the esoteric sect think of the 9 counties in the north? They won't really want to close the Qinglong Temple. Nian Jinlin mentioned the Qinglong Temple. There is no movement from the Buddhist sect for the time being. I don't know what they think, the eldest prince frowned. No movement. I'm afraid the Buddhist sect has something in mind. This time, the Qinglong Temple is in crisis. If the Buddhist sect fully supports it, who can suppress them? I'm afraid that the Buddhist sect will look for new people like the Taoist sect. Your Highness must be on guard, Nian Jinlin said in a deep voice. While he was speaking, his chess piece fell. He stood up and said, Your Highness, the time I agreed with Bai Tianyu has come, so I'll leave first, then I'll trouble you, teacher. The eldest prince bowed and sent Nian Jinlin out of the palace. After sending Nian Jinlin away, the eldest prince sat on the bench. He fell into deep thought. Then he said, Come here. A dark shadow walked in from outside the door. You go to the northern 9 counties and meet with Su Chen on my behalf. By the way, give this letter to Su Chen, just say that I want to cooperate with him. The eldest prince took out a letter from his arms. It seemed that he had prepared it a long time ago. The northern 9 counties failed, and the Qinglong Temple, which had previously supported him, was closed down, which made him lose a great helper. and as Taebao said, the attitude of the Buddhist tantric sect has changed a little. He sensed the crisis. So he wanted to cooperate with the Qinglong Society. The people of the Qinglong Society killed Taixu's Henrin of Kingsa Temple, and they had already made enemies with Lao Qi. Although the fight between him and Lao Qi on the surface has subsided, it has not been secretly. If he cooperates with the Qinglong Society, his power will definitely be further improved. Maybe he can liberate Qinglong Temple. The man in black bowed and left the room. Chapter 442, Heavenly Supervision Division, Situ Sheng, the remnant of the Blood Demon sect. Xianchen. In a quiet mansion. The mansion is very large, with pavilions, towers, courtyards, and everything. Especially in the backyard, there is a large waterside pavilion. When the breeze blows, ripples appear on the lake. Yidi and Rahao stand in a pavilion in the waterside pavilion. I didn't expect Z-Men to meet us here. Rahao looked at the surrounding waterside pavilion and said, "It's a bit beyond my expectation. I don't know what Z-Men wants to do by suddenly meeting us this time," Yidi said. "It shouldn't be a simple matter. If it was simple, they wouldn't ask us to meet like this," Rahao said. When Rahao finished speaking, over the courtyard, a figure slowly walked out, wearing a black robe and a mask on his face. "I am Lu Wu, the third leader of the Evil Alliance. I would like to meet Yidi and Rahao. I invited you two here this time because I want to cooperate with you to do something." Keijing, wearing a mask, walked towards the two of them. "Cooperation, to do something? Why don't you talk about it, Leader Lu?" Yidi said. "Join hands to kill a person, Li Yanchen, the master of Ziyin Temple in Xianchen. As long as you two are willing to help, I, Evil Alliance, will send a divine-style secret scroll," Keijing said. Divine-style secret scroll. Hearing Keijing's words, Yidi and Rahao looked at each other, and a gleam of light flashed in their eyes. Although they have not been in this world for a long time, they have understood the realm of warriors in this world. His current strength is at the stage of Danshan turning into sea, and Rahao's strength is also at this stage. To be honest, he has some ideas about sea concentration, but he always feels that there are some things he doesn't understand. Previously, they were planning to return to Lingnan County to ask Gu Santong and Zhu Wuxi. But if they could get the divine scroll here, then he might not have to ask Gu Santong and Zhu Wuxi. As for the person to be killed, the master of Ziyin Temple, Li Yanchen, this person is not simple. His true identity is a bit exaggerated. He is the first master of Emperor Zhou of the Great Zhou dynasty. Unexpectedly, the Evil Alliance made a move to kill this person. Of course, if the identity of the person to be killed was not ordinary, the Evil Alliance would not have taken out the divine scroll. Are you challenging the bottom line of Emperor Zhou? Although Emperor Yi wanted to get the divine scroll, in his heart, he kept a calm mind. Guess the purpose of the other parties doing so. Emperor Yi, it's indeed as you said. We just want to challenge the bottom line of Emperor Zhou and see if Emperor Zhou will ever come out of the imperial palace, Keijing said in a deep voice. This is why you are in Xianchen. Emperor Yi looked at Keijing and said. That's not the reason. Even if we cooperate, can Yidi and Rifu join hands with me to kill Li Yancheng today? It's a bit unrealistic. After all, many people know that you have come to Xianchen. Once you kill Li Yanchen, your Xianaya Pavilion and Jinfeng Xiaoyu Tower in the capital will be destroyed in an instant. Although our Z-Man is ruthless, we won't treat our allies like this, Keijing said. Humph, I didn't expect that the people of Z-Man are so loyal. It's really surprising. Just as Keijing finished speaking, an old man in a purple and gold robe flashed and flew over the pavilion, looking at Keijing with cold eyes. Xian Jianxi, Situ Sheng, I didn't expect you to come. Looking at the old man who appeared, Keijing said in a deep voice. They were still discussing the Situ Sheng last night, but they didn't expect to meet him today. I didn't expect you to know me. That means we may know each other. I really want to see your true face under the mask, and you actually tried to join forces with the Evil Alliance to attack the Emperor's master. Today, I will kill you to shock the majesty of my great Zhou. Situ Sheng's tone was very cold. He knew a lot of things. Although he knew that it was the Emperor who allowed these people to stir up trouble, the Emperor would not tolerate these people and test the Emperor. So these people deserved to die. He didn't think about arresting people. Because he didn't need to know what was behind these people. While speaking, a layer of black blood appeared on his body, which looked like burning black flames. The surging breath flowed through his body, forming a hazy black figure. The figure exuded a bloodthirsty breath. Seeing this, Emperor of the Night, and Future, quickly gathered together. This person's strength was above the two of them, and they might need to join forces to get rid of the enemy. But when he looked at Keijing, who was wearing a black robe and a mask, did not reveal any breath on his body, and his eyes were also unusually calm, as if he didn't care about Sito Sheng who appeared. Sito Sheng, do you think I'm not on guard against you, Xianjian Division? Nai Jiansha, one of the 3 elders of Xianjian Division, was killed. You can go to accompany him, Keijing said coldly. While he was talking, a figure slowly walked towards this side not far from the pavilion. The figure was also dressed in black and wore a mask on his face. The black clothes on his body were slowly flowing with ripples of energy, which could turn into waves at any time. The eyes exposed on the mask of this person revealed a sense of hostility, and a scarlet murderous intent was revealed between the opening and closing of his eyes. Seeing this person appear, Sito Sheng's face changed, and he said in a deep voice, "You are a member of the Blood Demon sect. How is it possible? The Master wiped out all of your Blood Demon sect back then. How can there be remnants of the Blood Demon sect? Do you think Zhu Pingsheng has the ability to eliminate my Blood Demon sect?" The man snorted coldly. "Sito Sheng, you were a knife in Zhu Pingsheng's hand back then. If I kill you today, I think Zhu Pingsheng will be restless. I was just in case before, but I didn't expect to hook you. God has never let me down." The masked man said this, and his killing intent became stronger. His body turned into a bloody light and rushed towards Sito Sheng. Boom! Sito Sheng also slapped his palm. After the two of them exchanged a few moves on the waterside pavilion, their bodies landed on an open space not far away. After landing, the masked man kicked the ground with his foot, suppressed the air, and shot towards Sito Sheng violently. His palms clenched into fists, and the fists shot out in all directions. "Blood murder, 5 extreme kills," the masked man shouted, and his body turned into 5 figures, and these 5 figures attacked Sito Sheng at the same time. Sito Sheng's eyes condensed. Among these 5 figures, he couldn't tell which one was the real one. Boom! Since he couldn't find it, he would just use the divine style. As he started, his aura changed, and the blood-colored figure that was formed by the blood and ki in his body appeared, and a huge momentum went towards the 5 figures. One of the figures seemed to be affected. At this moment, Sito Sheng sneered, his eyes flashed, and he touched the ground with his feet, jumped up, and raised his palm to form a knife. God style, marched knife slash. With one knife, the knife light was like the moon, and it was divided into 3 knife shadows that gathered together, with great power. Swish! The figure was directly split into 2. But no blood spurted out, and Sito Sheng's pupils suddenly shrank. At this moment, one of the 5 figures had appeared in front of him, and his palm fell towards his heart. Chapter 443, Keijing's Viciousness, Sito Sheng's Death. Seeing this, Sito Sheng's ki surged, and the violent ki formed a shield on him. When the man in black put his palm on the other's chest, his eyes condensed, but then the ki on his palm erupted like a volcano. The powerful force shook Sito Sheng back. Sito Sheng's body crashed into the corridor by the river and the corridor collapsed directly. Puff! Sito Sheng, who flew back, spit out a mouthful of blood. But it was not fatal. He rushed out of the broken corridor and stared at the masked man in black with a sinister look. "Blood Demon Wuji, you are the Blood Demon sect, the left protector He Yishan. Didn't you have your heart broken by Lord Zhu's palm?" Sito Sheng looked at the masked man and said, his eyes full of disbelief. "Many people can change their faces, but they can't change their own cultivation methods." Sito Sheng recognized the identity of the masked man. "I didn't expect that someone still remembered me, He Yishan. Of course, Zhu Pingsheng did break my heart meridian, but I didn't die. Are you surprised? It's okay to tell you. Back then, I practiced Buddhist meditation. When Zhu Pingsheng attacked me, I used meditation to break my heart meridian. Of course, it was only a short-term break, which allowed me to escape." The masked man took off the mask on his face. It was a very ordinary face, nothing special. If there was anything special, it was just his eyes. The eyes were deep and sharp. "I didn't expect you to be able to deceive the adults," Sito Sheng's eyes became gloomy. I didn't expect that coming to arrest someone would put himself in trouble. His eyes turned, his body moved, and he wanted to leave, but the black-clothed He Yishan also moved, and his aura locked the other party. If the other party moved, he would burst out with a fierce attack. But He's expression was also very solemn. Although he just succeeded in one blow, it was not so absolute to say that he could kill the other party. The opponent's strength is only a little bit lower than his, and he can escape if he can't beat him. With the opponent's strength, if he escapes, it is indeed difficult for him to take him down. Being stared at by He Yishan, Sito Sheng's eyes became even gloomier. As soon as he moved just now, the opponent locked his figure, which meant that he didn't want to let him leave. Looking at this situation, Sito Sheng's eyes flashed, his figure flew into the air, and he raised his palm and attacked He Yishan with his palm. Blood Sea and Blue Wave Palm, the palm probed the energy, and the blood energy surged, and with a rumbling and amazing momentum, it attacked He Yishan. Seeing this, He Yishan also punched out. The fist power gathered on the fist, forming a huge air wave that collided with Sito Sheng's palm. Bang! This time the two people were not much different in the head-on confrontation. But after the collision, Sito Sheng's mouth spilled blood again. He Yishan, I didn't expect that in 15 years, your strength could reach the level of sea concentration. I remember that when we destroyed your blood demon sect, your strength was just like mine, and you had just entered the Danshin transformation to sea stage. I didn't expect that you actually broke through to the sea concentration on your own. Sito Sheng looked at He Yishan with some surprise on his face. But even so, if I'm injured, you may not be able to keep me. Sito Sheng looked at He Yishan and said. It seems that He Yishan's strength should not be too strong in the sea concentration. Emperor Knight watched the two people fighting and sent a message to Future. Of course, the strength of these two people put a lot of pressure on him. He and Future teamed up to fight against either Sito Sheng or He Yishan without any problem. There are so many people here, can't we keep you? Emperor Knight and Future, the other party just wanted to kill you, now you can join forces to kill him together. He Yishan turned to Emperor Knight and Future. Hearing this, Emperor Knight and Future fell silent. Emperor Knight and Future, if you join me to kill the people of Evil Alliance, I heavenly supervision cannot ask about your affairs. At this time, Sito Sheng thought of something and spoke. Whatever we do, we don't need you heavenly supervision to ask, Emperor Knight said coldly. While speaking, he and Future turned around and appeared in one place. And Jing, wearing a mask, appeared in another place. They formed a triangle and surrounded each other. Seeing this, Sito Sheng's face changed. He didn't expect that Emperor Knight and Future actually wanted to be enemies with them heavenly supervision. Kill you, who knows it's us, killing you as a member of Evil Alliance, it has nothing to do with us, what do you two say? Emperor Knight looked at Jing and He Yishan. Of course, we Evil Alliance will take responsibility for this matter, and it just so happens that we Evil Alliance want to expand our momentum, Jing said. You guys, listening to the conversation between the two, Sito Sheng's face turned cold and he suddenly moved towards Jing. Jing's side was the weakest among the three groups, and it was also the best position for him to break through. He shot out at a very fast speed. Jing had been on guard against the opponent. At the moment when the opponent attacked, he took the lead, raised his palms and slapped out. Sito Sheng's eyes condensed. He didn't expect that the opponent would dare to confront him head-on. His palm unconsciously touched the opponent's palm. But when they touched, the key in his palm was directly pierced. The two sharp steel needles in Jing's hand pierced his key and penetrated into his palm. Ah! Sito Sheng screamed, but the strong key leaked out and also shook Jing away. The arm that Jing slapped out broke and blood spurted out. But Jing didn't take it seriously. A blood-colored force appeared on his arm, and this blood-colored force carried a trace of vitality, which quickly repaired his arm, and soon the burst meridians in his arm were restored to their original state. As for his face, he couldn't see clearly with the mask on. Sito Sheng, who screamed, suddenly spit out a mouthful of blood and moved towards Jing. But at this time, He Yishan had already taken action and rushed over. Sito Sheng, who had taken action, suddenly turned his body, raised his palm, and the steel needle nailed on his palm instantly shot towards He Yishan. And his palm became a claw, and he grabbed He Yishan with one claw. On his fingers, a cold breath emanated, forming a cold light, and the speed was also very fast. Yi Di and Ri Hao saw this scene, and they were also shocked. From this attack, It can be seen that the opponent's target is not Keijing but Yishin. Sito Sheng knew very well that it was useless to kill the black-clothed man who blocked him in front of him. Only by severely injuring Yishin could he get out of the predicament. Yishin had just dodged the steel needle when he saw Sito Sheng's sharp palm grabbing his right shoulder. One squat, Yishin's right arm would be broken. At that time, Sito Sheng could chase and further injure the opponent. Whoosh! At this time, Emperor of the Night made a move, and the violent palm force formed a huge energy, attacking the opponent's palm. He didn't want to injure the opponent, but just wanted to delay the speed of the opponent's palm grabbing. As long as the speed was delayed, he believed that Yishin would have time to kill Sito Sheng. Chapter 444, Murin Qingshan's Dilemma, Jiangnan Qixingtang Murin Family. Sito Sheng's palm was slightly paused by a burst of energy. In the moment of pause, Yishin swung out a palm, blood and energy bursting out of his palm, and hit Sito Sheng's chest again. Under this blow, Sito Sheng flew backwards. After the blow was successful, Yishin stepped forward and quickly hit Sito Sheng's head with his palm. Sito Sheng, who was seriously injured, could not resist this blow at all. Bang! Blood flew all over his head. The body fell to the ground. Thank you for your help just now, Evil Alliance. Today's matter, we, Evil Alliance, will take full responsibility, and we will give you the divine style of the sea concentration strongmen before we cooperate, as a reward for your help today. If you kill Li Yunchen, we, Evil Alliance, will pay this reward separately. I don't know what, Evil Alliance, and, future, want. We want 100,000 taels of gold. Evil Emperor looked at Yishin and said. Just now, he made a move, which actually meant that he agreed to cooperate, and it was tacitly understood. 100,000 taels of gold. Hearing this, Yishin looked at Keijing. The money of Evil Alliance was all transferred through Keijing. He didn't have much idea about money. When Keijing heard what Yudi said, his brows under the mask frowned slightly. 100,000 taels of gold looked like about 1 million taels of silver, but gold was very rare. Moreover, it was difficult to collect so much gold in a short period of time. In addition, if gold was collected, the other party might know the circulation channel of gold and find out something. After all, the normal circulation was silver. Gold is a bit difficult. I am willing to pay 2 million taels of silver. Keijing looked at Yudi and said. While speaking, 4 silver bills appeared in his hand. These 4 silver bills can be used in money houses across the Great Zhou dynasty, Keijing said. Okay, both of you, wait for my notification on who will make the move. How do we contact you? Yudi said. This is one of my contact points. After Yudi selects the members, he will contact us. However, it is best to have a Danshan Huahe realm strongman. I am afraid that ordinary Shinran Jiunan strongmen will be in danger. A note appeared in Keijing's hand and he threw it directly to Yudi. Yudi sucked it with his palm, and then left quickly with day. Looking at the 2 people who left. This, Shianaya Pavilion, is not weak and useful to us. For the time being, we should focus on peace. Take the body away and deal with it, don't leave it here, Yishin said. I know, I will deal with this body, and no one will know how he died. You go back first. Keijing glanced at Sito Sheng's body lying on the ground. Okay, Yishin nodded and turned to leave. After he left, Keijing carried Sito Sheng's body and left directly. After they left, several figures appeared in the manor. Seeing the traces of fighting around and a few pools of blood on the ground, but no body, his expression suddenly changed. If something happens, tell the adults about this. After that, they left quickly. One day later, news came out in the capital that Sito Sheng, one of the 3 elders of the Xianjian division and a strong man who could concentrate his mind in the sea, died in the hands of the second leader of the Evil Alliance. As soon as this information came out, there was an uproar in the capital. On the other side, Keijing gave 2 million silver notes and some information about the third and second leaders of the Evil Alliance, appeared in front of Bai Tianyu. He casually took out 2 million silver notes. This person's identity should not be simple. Bai Tianyu looked at the information sent by Yudi and said in a deep voice. His eyes then fell on the information of Yishin, the left protector of the blood demon sect Yishin, the second leader of the Evil Alliance, a strong man who could concentrate his mind in the sea. Split the 2 million silver notes and exchange them on the market. Don't let anyone find out the source of the silver notes. Send them to Jiangnan, Wuki Villa, and let him send them to Boss Kiao, Bai Tianyu said. Originally, I wanted to wait until the money from the money gang was in hand before transferring it away. Now that we have silver here, it is more appropriate to transfer it away first, Bai Tianyu said to Nalan Rongayan. Also, help me find a few pictures of famous people in Jiangnan. I want to give them to Nian Jinlin, Bai Tianyu said in a deep voice. When he met Nian Jinlin yesterday, this guy didn't want martial arts skills, elixirs, or money, but only paintings made by famous people in Jiangnan. The pictures of famous people in Jiangnan are very expensive. This Nian Jinlin is really calculating, Nalan Rongayan said. Compared with Bai Tianyu's happiness. At this time, Murin Qingchen's face was extremely ugly. She didn't expect that Mr. Sita would make a move, and there would be an accident. Now there is only one old man left among the three elders, and his strength has barely entered the Danshan transformation sea. It can be said that her strength has been weakened by more than a little bit. She now doesn't know how to communicate with the former Sizhu. Two elders were killed and injured in a row. Get ready, I'll go to see Sizhu, Murin Qingchen said. Judging from the current situation, her forces are completely unable to deal with the evil alliance, and she needs to pay a visit to the previous division master. Also, I have drafted a letter here, and you have someone send it to Lingnan County to Su Chen? Murin Qingchen took out a letter from his bosom and handed it to Kwei who was standing beside him. In this situation, she really wanted to see if Su Chen could provide him with some help. Yes, Kwei took Murin Qingchen's letter, put it in her bosom, lowered her head, and a glimmer of light flashed in her eyes. At this time, Murin Qingchen stepped out of the room. Go to the place where the former division master Zhu Pingsheng lived. Outside the Great Wall. After the East Pavilion took down the Xianchen sect, the personnel of the Ghost Domain quickly entered the Xianchen sect stronghold. The original Xianchen sect became the Ghost Domain, and Du Wudi was still the domain master of the Ghost Domain, occupying the North Mountain, and the mountain master of the South Mountain was Quan Qi. It was not Gu Santong who occupied the main peak, but Zhu Wuxi, the deputy pavilion master of the East Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion, and his four elders. Gu Santong disappeared. Rosewood Palace. In Mu Qingsu's courtyard. Mu Qingsu was in a good mood after she knew that Xianchen sect was destroyed by Xianaya Pavilion, and people from Qinglong society also took action. This way, no one would come to threaten her. Compared with her, the people in Rosewood Palace were in a panic. In the hall, the elders of Rosewood Palace gathered together, and the palace master of Rosewood Palace was standing in the hall with a gloomy face. Now, let's talk about it. The Ghost Domain has occupied Xianchen sect. What should we do next? They in Rosewood Palace had previously surrendered to Xianchen sect, hoping to use the hands of Xianchen sect to enter the pass, but they did not expect that Xianchen sect was destroyed by the mysterious Xianaya Pavilion. This put them in a passive situation. Palace Master, when we surrendered to the Xianchen sect before, we made enemies with the Jinfeng Xiaoyu Tower in Qingcheng. Although the Xianchen sect occupied the East Pavilion of Xianaya Pavilion, not the North Pavilion, they may have some opinions about our Zitan Palace. When we surrendered to the Xianchen sect before, we had already transported most of the resources to Jiangnan. Now we can completely abandon the Zitan Palace here and build a new one in Jiangnan. I have contacted Murin Xingjian, the third young master of the Murin family of the Jiangnan 7-star Hall. He can help us establish a new Zitan Palace there. He can also let us depend on their 7-star hall, but in addition to the original remuneration, he also wants to meet Mu Qingsu. The speaker was a middle-aged man with a sinister face and a cold light in his eyes. Chapter 445. Who are you, kid? Why are you here? Jiang Heming, what do you mean? Hearing this, the middle-aged man standing on the other side said sternly. Elder Mu, you gave birth to a good daughter, you should feel honored. The man called Jiang Heming looked at the middle-aged man who spoke and said. In his heart, he secretly said, I mentioned your daughter many times in front of Murin Xingjian, and Murin Xingjian only thought about meeting your daughter, otherwise, why would he like your daughter? There are 3 factions in the Red Sand Palace, among which the Palace Master's faction is the largest, and the others are the Jiang family faction and the Mu family faction. The Mu family is headed by the ancestor of the Mu family. The one who just spoke out to refute was Mu Qingsu's father, Mu Tian, an elder of the Red Sand Palace. As for Jiang Heming, who spoke earlier, there was some personal hatred between him and Mu Tian, so when he contacted the 7 Stars Hall, he specifically mentioned Mu Qingsu. Why is it an honor? Why don't you send your daughter to Murinxingjian? Mu Tan said coldly. If the other party likes my daughter, what if I send my daughter to Mr. Murin? Now my Red Sand Palace needs help from the 7 Stars Hall, and your daughter can find a good family. This is a good thing that kills 2 birds with 1 stone. You should be happy, Zhang Heming said. Although he said so, Zhang Heming sneered in his heart. Mu Qingsu is very beautiful, but there are so many beauties in Jiangnan. Murinxingjian is a playboy with countless confidants around him. After a while, he will forget Mu Qingsu. This is why he is not worried. Otherwise, if the Mu family uses Murinxingjian, it will threaten the position of their Zhang family. I will not agree to this, Mu Tan said. Previously, Mu Qingsu was introduced to the Xiantian sect, and now Mu Qingsu is introduced to the 7 Stars Hall in Jiangnan. This is simply giving their daughter as a gift. When he finished speaking, Mu Tan looked at the palace master of the Red Sand Palace in the middle. The palace master of the Red Sand Palace had a calm expression. He agreed in his heart, but he would not say these words openly. He looked at Mu Dongyun, the ancestor of the Mu family. Palace master, Qingsu had previously retreated from Su Chen of the Qinglong Society, and was later betrothed to the Xiantian sect. It is not suitable for her to meet Mr. Murin again, Mu Dongyun, the ancestor of the Mu family, said. Although he understood what Palace Master Zitan meant, he could not agree. He was forced to agree to the marriage with the Xiantian sect before, and now he wanted him to agree to meet Murinxingjian, which he was unwilling to accept. Hearing the words of the ancestor of the Mu family, a fierce light flashed in Palace Master Zitan's eyes. But he concealed it quickly. He looked at the other side with a calm face, the ancestor of the Zhang family, Zhang Bili. Old man Mu, sacrificing a granddaughter for the Red Sand Palace is what you and I should do. Since Mr. Muring has taken a fancy to Mu Qingsu, isn't it normal for the two to meet? Maybe once the two meet, Qingsu will have a good impression of Mr. Murin. I still suggest that Qingsu and Mr. Murin meet. As for what the final result will be, it depends on their own decision, Zhang Bili said. Zhang Bili's meaning was very clear, just a meeting. Not asking you to send your granddaughter away. Mu Dongyun wanted to say something. But at this time, a middle-aged man in a brocade robe from the Mu family said, Ancestor, I think there's nothing wrong with letting Qingsu meet Mr. Murin. The speaker was the second-generation eldest son of the Mu family and Mu Tan's eldest brother, Mu Xianyang. His status in the Mu family is second only to several ancestors, and he can be said to be one of the people in power in the Mu family. In fact, he is in favor of giving Mu Qingsu to Murinxingjian. Murinxingjian, the young master of Jiangnan 7-Star Hall. The power of Jiangnan 7-Star Hall is spread all over Jiangnan, and its strength and power are extremely strong. If they can hold this thigh, their Mu family will be able to gain a foothold in Jiangnan and become the next generation of the Red Sandalwood Palace Master, so he spoke. Brother Yu, seeing this, Mu Ten looked at him with incredible eyes. Mu Xianyang did not look at him. It's just a meeting, I think Qingsu is willing. Regarding the matter of the Palace Master, we in the Mu family will persuade Qingsu. Mu Xianyang said directly. Mu Ten looked at the ancestor of the Mu family. Mu Dongyun wanted to say something, but the fourth ancestor of the Mu family beside him said, Brother, I also agree with Xianyang. Since the Mu family has agreed, let's transfer resources as soon as possible and leave the frontier. The master of Zitan Palace spoke at this time, and turned and left. Although Zitan Palace had transferred a lot of resources before, there were still a lot left, which was also an important task. Inside the hall, Zhang Heming walked to Mu Ten. I will slowly settle with you about what happened in the past when I get to Jiangnan. The voice was very low. After speaking, he followed the people of the Zhang family out of the hall. Brother, why did you do this? Mu Ten walked up to Mu Xianyang and said coldly. This is the best choice for our Mu family. Jiangnan Qixingtang is the connection of the Zhang family, but it has no friendship with our Mu family. Qingsu's side is the best opportunity for us to catch up with the Muring family, which is most beneficial to our Mu family. You don't have to go to Qingsu's work. I will ask my third sister and her aunt to persuade her. You don't have to worry about it. After saying that, Mu Xianyang turned around and left. Inside the hall, only Mu Ten was left, and his face was not good. In Mu Qingsu's courtyard, besides Mu Qingsu, there was another person, Su Chen, who came to the outside of the Great Wall. Now that the Xiantian sect in the outside of the Great Wall has been destroyed, a force like the Red Sandalwood Palace is no longer a force in his eyes. So he came to see Mu Kingsu. After all, he was the one who took the first drop of blood of Mu Kingsu. Since he came to the outside of the Great Wall, of course he had to come to see Mu Kingsu. People can be affectionate, but they cannot be ruthless. I didn't expect you to come to see me. Mu Kingsu looked at Su Chen in white, her beautiful eyes showing surprise and joy. The current Su Chen is not the same Su Chen as before. The leader of the 9 northern counties, the young leader of the Qinglong Society, any of these identities can suppress their Zin Palace. Didn't you hear that someone is targeting you? So I came here in person to help you solve this problem. Su Chen looked at Mu Kingsu and said. Hearing Su Chen's words, Mu Kingsu was stunned. She didn't expect Su Chen to say such a thing. Mu Kingsu has been showing a kind of sadness recently because of the marriage of Xianshan sect. Compared with the previous cold and arrogant, there is a feeling of pity. Surprised, looking at Mu Kingsu's expression, Su Chen couldn't help but ask. I thought you were always domineering? In Mu Kingsu's memory, Su Chen was unreasonable. He controlled himself and took away her virginity directly. Although affected by the insect, Mu Kingsu's thoughts and mind still had her own judgment, and her feelings for Su Chen were a bit complicated. Kingsu, I heard that you are going to be given to young Master Murin of Jiang and Qixingtang. You are really popular. Otherwise, you should obey me first. You don't have to give it to young Master Murin then. At this time, a frivolous and arrogant voice sounded outside the courtyard. Then a figure appeared at the door of the courtyard. It was a young man in a brocade robe, with an obscene smile on his face, striding towards the courtyard. Seeing Su Chen in the courtyard, the young man was stunned at first, and then roared, Boy, who are you? How come you are here? The voice was rough, but he responded with a knife light, which passed across his face like drizzle. In an instant, a blood mark appeared between his eyebrows. If you're listening to this novel on a channel other than Fanfic World, it means they downloaded and uploaded it without effort. We cordially invite you to visit our channel, Mundo Fanfic Novelis. There you'll find the original version of this story and you can explore many other novels of various genres. We're waiting for you to immerse yourself in a world of incredible novels. Chapter 446, The extremely arrogant Su Chen kills 2 people with 2 swords. The young man who made the noise, the original roar, disappeared. He felt something flowing between his eyebrows, and he raised his hand and wiped it unconsciously. A sticky feeling appeared in the center of his palm. He couldn't help but take a look in front of himself. It was blood. His eyes were wide open, and he didn't believe what he saw. After he said this, his body fell directly to the ground. Behind him, there were several people, all wearing the clothes of Zitin Palace disciples. They just saw a flash of knife light. Zhang Yuan pointed at the young man standing in the courtyard, said this, and fell directly to the ground. One person quickly came to Zhang Yuan to check what was going on. But when he looked at Zhang Yuan's body, he saw the scar on his forehead. His face changed drastically, and he looked at Su Chen. You killed Zhang Yuan. Zhang Yuan is the 3rd son of Elder Zhang Heming. He looked terrified. After hearing this, several people behind him quickly fled, shouting, Murder, murder. The figure disappeared quickly, probably to report. Killing him is still a bit of an insult to my sword, Su Chen said calmly. Su Chen didn't care at all about the elder's disciple. He didn't care about the entire Zitin Palace, so why should he care about the disciple of an elder? The man who spoke was horrified when he saw Su Chen say that. This man was too arrogant. He didn't take the Zhang family seriously at all, or didn't take the Zitin Palace seriously. His expression seemed a little angry. But in his anger, he was secretly thinking about the other party's identity. He didn't take the Zhang family and Zitin Palace seriously. The other party's identity must be extraordinary. He didn't think the other party was a shaman. Who is it that speaks so arrogantly? A cold voice sounded in the courtyard. A woman in a white dress walked in from outside the courtyard. The woman's face was okay, but her face was the same as Mu Kingsu when he met her before, a little cold and arrogant. Behind her was a middle-aged woman in a purple dress, who was the aunt who persuaded Mu Kingsu before. And, why are you here, and what about Mr. Murin that Zhang Yuan just mentioned? Mu Kingsu asked as she looked at the 2 people who appeared. One was her aunt, Mu Wanshuang, and the other was her aunt, Chu Sudang. You killed Zhang Yuan, and you are still talking nonsense. Mu Wanshuang looked at Su Chen and asked coldly. Although she didn't like Zhang Yuan and hoped that Zhang Yuan would die, Zhang Yuan couldn't die here, and couldn't be related to Mu Kingsu. I'm telling the truth. Why are you talking nonsense? And if you have nothing to do with Mu Kingsu, there will be one more body lying on the ground." Hearing Su Chen's words, Mu Wanchuang's eyes became sharp, and she looked at Su Chen coldly. Her palms moved slightly, which seemed like she couldn't help but take action. "If you move, you will die." When Su Chen spoke, a trace of murderous intent burst out of his eyes. The first time, he could do it for Mu Kingsu's sake, but there would definitely be no second time. Sensing the murderous intent bursting out of Su Chen, Mu Wanchuang's heart trembled, as if her heart was locked. She tried to sense the other party's breath, but couldn't sense it. Could it be that the other party's strength is at the level of a celestial being? Mu Wanchuang was shocked. As for Su Chen, he didn't look at her again. He hadn't even reached the level of a celestial being, so it was just a matter of a knife in front of him. Not far from Su Chen, Mu Kingsu saw this and immediately stepped forward and said, "And, who is he? She doesn't deserve to know my name yet." Su Chen would not indulge an old woman, and said in a cold voice, "Arrogant, too arrogant." In the yard, except for Mu Kingsu, everyone looked at Su Chen with eyes that this person was too arrogant. "Kingsu, is this the one?" At this time, Mu Kingsu's aunt stepped forward and asked. She knew that Mu Kingsu was no longer a virgin, so she knew that Su Chen existed. Of course, Mu Kingsu had never told her Su Chen's name. Mu Kingsu nodded. Since Su Chen was here, there was no need to hide the things between her and Su Chen. Seeing Mu Kingsu say this, Chu Suting looked at Su Chen with her beautiful eyes. Su Chen was handsome, and he exuded a sense of superiority. From this point, it can be seen that Su Chen's identity is not simple. But no matter what the other party is like, this is the Rosewood Palace. The Rosewood Palace will definitely maintain the dignity of the Zhang family. Zhang Yuan is the disciple of Elder Zhang. If you kill him, the Zhang family will never let it go. "I think you should leave first," Chu Suting said. "They won't let it go, so what? Su Chen will not leave." The strongest person in the Rosewood Palace is only in the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. With such strength, even the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi beside him can crush him. Why should he leave? Seeing Su Chen's overbearing words, Mu Kingsu stepped forward and said, "And, it's okay. If the Zhang family wants to explain anything, let them come to me. No need to trouble the rest of the Mu family. Kingsu, you can't be alone with him. The family has decided to let you go to Jiangnan to meet Mr. Murin of the Muring family. As long as we get along with the Muring family, our Zitan Palace can gain a foothold in Jiangnan and seek development, and our Mu family can also make further progress." Mr. Muring is the young master of the Jiangnan 7-star hall. He specifically wants to see you. The palace master and the old ancestor have agreed, Mu Wanchuang said sternly at this time, and when she spoke, her eyes were still looking at Su Chen. She wanted the Muring family of the 7-star hall to pressure Su Chen. The young master of the Jiangnan 7-star hall, Murin Xingchen, Su Chen couldn't help but say. Now that his power is deployed in Jiangnan, he certainly knows some things about the Jiangnan 7-star hall. Since you know Mr. Murin, you also know the gap between you two, and I will not go to see Murin Xingchen. If you still have such words, don't say anything. Mu Wanchuang wanted to say something, but Mu Kingsu looked at Mu Wanchuang with a bad look. She didn't want Su Chen to have any misunderstandings. She had previously revealed that she was marrying the Xianxian sect, and now she was going to see Murin Xingchen. How would Su Chen think? Su Chen looked at Mu Kingsu at this time. He didn't expect that Mu Kingsu was so popular. However, beautiful women are always popular, so he wouldn't have any guesses. Murin Xingchen really can't compare with me. When everyone was silent, Su Chen said this lightly. "You?" Mu Wanchuang was interrupted by Mu Kingsu and gave her a cold look. She was in a bad mood. Now she heard Su Chen say this. She was a little angry and couldn't speak for a while. At this time, "Who is it? Who killed my son?" An angry, low and cold voice sounded outside the courtyard. "Zhang Yuan's father, Zhang Heming, has a personal grudge against my father," Mu Kingsu said in a voice transmission. After the voice appeared, a figure rushed into the courtyard in an instant. Seeing Zhang Yuan with a knife mark on his forehead, Zhang Heming's face became cold and fierce. It was him, he killed him. Junior brother Zhang, the disciple of Zitan Palace who spoke earlier said, "Little bastard, you killed my son, I want you dead." Zhang Yuan looked at Su Chen with a cold gaze, his eyes were like a knife, and his face was extremely ferocious. As soon as he stepped on the ground, his figure shot out and slapped Su Chen with a palm. He wanted to kill Su Chen first to relieve the hatred in his heart. You want to kill me too? When he made a move, Su Chen's figure also moved, and his speed was faster than him. This Zhang Heming was stronger than the third master of the Mu family he had seen before, and his strength was almost close to the difficulty of heaven and man. However, this strength was only a matter of a knife in front of Su Chen. This time, Su Chen's knife was not like a drizzle, but fierce like a waterfall, and the knife light suddenly rose. Zhang Heming, who had thrown the palm, was directly cut into two halves by a knife. Blood spurted out and sprayed on some people's faces like rain. Chapter 447, Continue to Kill. Mu Qingsu takes charge of the Rosewood Palace. Zhang Heming was split in half with a single knife, and blood spurted out. This scene was shocking. The people from the Red Sand Palace who came with Zhang Heming were terrified. Mu Wanshuang, who had spoken earlier, looked pale and looked at Su Chen in horror. Her strength was much worse than Zhang Heming. Zhang Heming was also split in half with a single knife. If he had attacked her just now, he would have been killed with a single knife as well. You. How could you kill Zhang Heming? Although she was shocked, she was terrified in her heart. If the other party killed Zhang Heming, this would be a big deal. Isn't this possible? Su Chen said coldly. At this time, many people had gathered outside the courtyard. Zhang Heming was split in half by Su Chen's knife, and many people saw it. Some people left quickly. Even Mu Qingsu's aunt left at this moment. The matter was too serious, and she had to go back to report it, hoping to save Mu Qingsu. Soon, this matter spread throughout the Red Sand Palace. At this time, the palace master of the Red Sand Palace was discussing the follow-up matters with Zhang Bili, the ancestor of the Zhang family. A figure ran in quickly. Palace master, ancestor, Heming and Zhang Yuan were killed by a knife. The person who came was a clan member of the same generation as Zhang Heming of the Zhang family. He said in panic. What did you say? Hearing this, the palace master of the Red Sand Palace and Zhang Bili looked at the person who came at the same time. Especially Zhang Bili, he flashed in front of this person. You should make your words clear, ancestor. A young man came to Mu Qingsu's courtyard. He killed Zhang Yuan first. Heming went over and was also cut in half by the other party. The person who came hurriedly said. What? He dared to be killed in my Red Sand Palace. This person is too arrogant. The Red Sand Palace master's face sank and he said sternly, let's go. Zhang Bili came quickly, and the Red Sand Palace master followed him out. The two quickly went to Mu Qingsu's courtyard. At this time, the ancestors of the Mu family and Mu Qingsu's parents had already arrived and entered the courtyard in a panic. So many people appeared in the courtyard. Su Chen looked very calm. He killed Zhang Yuan and Zhang Heming, in fact, to lead out the people of the Zhang family and the palace master of the Red Sand Palace. He was clear about the three forces of the Red Sand Palace. He came here, first to see Mu Qingsu, and second to help Mu Qingsu take the position of the palace master of the Red Sand Palace. As for those who were not convinced, Su Hao planned to clear them all this time. Of course, some people would be cleared even if they were convinced. When Mu Qingsu's parents came to the courtyard, they saw Su Chen and were stunned. Su Chen was Mu Qingsu's previous marriage partner. They had seen Su Chen's portrait and their eyes were horrified. After all, they had to pay attention to Su Chen now. He was the young leader of the Qinglong Society and the leader of the 9 northern counties. He had just joined forces with Xianaya Pavilion to destroy Xianshan sect. After they knew these things, they were shocked and regretful. But they didn't expect Su Chen to appear in Mu Qingsu's courtyard. In other words, the person his daughter mentioned earlier was Su Chen. In this situation, they didn't know what to say. Qingsu, what's going on? How come there are outsiders here? Leave the courtyard with me now, Mu Xianyang of the Mu family said coldly. Mu Qingsu is related to the connection between the Mu family and the 7 Stars Hall. He wanted to take Mu Qingsu away from here. In this way, Su Chen's affairs would have nothing to do with our Mu family. She is my woman, how can she leave? How can you order her? Mu Qingsu wanted to speak, but Su Chen said it in advance. You, Mu Xianyang wanted to say something, but when he saw the corpse lying on the ground, he dared not speak anymore. His strength was only slightly higher than Zhang Heming. Of course, his strength was second only to his ancestor Mu Donggyuan. Otherwise, he would not have been Mu Qingsu's boss at that time. However, he did not know Su Chen's identity. Seeing this, Mu Tan immediately transmitted his voice, brother, Su Chen is the young leader of the Qinglong Society and the leader of the 9 northern counties. After receiving Mu Ten's voice transmission, Mu Xianyang's face changed drastically, and his expression was terrified. Qinglong Society is more powerful than Qinglong Temple. Their red sandalwood palace had to live in the frontier because they offended Qinglong Temple, and they did not dare to set foot in the 9 northern counties. The strength of the red sandalwood palace was much stronger than before. The ancestor of the Mu family also knew Su Chen's identity at this moment. He wanted to say something, but he couldn't say it. After all, their Mu family withdrew the engagement first. Now Su Chen appeared here to avenge their Mu family. He didn't know that Mu Qingsu had lost her virginity. So he thought so in his heart. The scene became silent. Who dares to kill my Jiang family? At this time, a low voice appeared outside the courtyard. As soon as he finished speaking, Jiang Bilei rushed in. Seeing the corpse on the ground, his eyes turned red, and then he looked in the direction of Su Chen. There was no outsider here except Su Chen. Needless to say, Su Chen was the murderer. No need to look, I killed them, Jiang family ancestor Jiang Bilei. Su Chen looked at Jiang Bilei and said coldly, "Boy, I'll twist off your head first." When Jiang Bilei spoke, his figure soared into the air. He didn't talk nonsense with Su Chen at all. He just wanted to twist off Su Chen's head and then settle accounts with the Mu family. As for the ancestor of the Mu family and Mu Xianyang, they didn't move. Looking at Jiang Bilei who was flying in the air, Su Chen didn't move. Jiang Bilei's strength was in the 7 difficulties of heaven and man, and he was not his opponent. What's more, he didn't need to take action at this time, and the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi should also take action. Seeing that Su Chen didn't move, Jiang Bilei's eyes became more ferocious. He thought that Su Chen was suppressed by his momentum. But when his palm was about to grab Su Chen's head, 4 ghostly figures appeared in front of Su Chen. The 4 figures instantly merged into one. They blocked Jiang Bilei's grab. Then the 4 figures separated instantly, and 4 palms hit Jiang Bilei's chest. Bang! Jiang Bilei's body flew backwards faster than when he attacked, and hit the wall of the courtyard. He spurted out a mouthful of blood, looked at Su Chen, and wanted to say something, but 4 figures appeared in front of him and their palms fell. Bang! Jiang Bilei's head was directly cracked by a palm. He fell to the ground without breath. Whoosh! Whoosh! Then the 4 figures did not stop, and directly killed the people who followed him. These people did not react at all and fell to the ground. Only the palace master of Zitan Palace was left. He looked horrified. He did not expect these people to kill Jiang Bilei and others. He wanted to say something, but the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi had already appeared in front of him. The 4 blurry figures made him unable to tell where the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi were. The sea of Qi is boundless. Seeing this, the purple sand palace master shouted in a low voice, raised his palm, and rumbled out of his palm like a wave of terrifying Qi. Since he couldn't find anyone, he could only cover it from all directions. When the Qi burst out, a terrifying flame force appeared around the purple sand palace master. The Qi wanted to force the opponent out, and then kill the opponent with the fiery true Qi he cultivated. Bang! In front of him, the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi, 4 figures merged into one, slapped out with one palm, blocked the attack of the purple sand palace master, and also rushed towards the purple sand palace master with a reverse Qi. Seeing this, the purple sand palace master's expression changed, and his figure retreated. The flame true Qi appeared on his right arm, and then he slashed directly. The huge flame Qi turned into a knife light of several feet and slashed at the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi. Cut a gap in the Qi that the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi had pushed out before, and swept towards them. When the flaming true Qi was slashed out, the air gave off a burning smell, which showed the sharpness of the knife. This Zen Palace master has some strength. Su Chen, who did not make a move, looked at the situation and murmured. As soon as he finished speaking, the 4 ghosts of Xiangxi, 4 shadows came together, and a shadowy palm appeared, which directly combined the flaming knife Qi. Then it shattered. Seeing this, Zen Palace master's face changed, and his figure wanted to escape. But the 4 figures were extremely fast, and they appeared in front of the opponent in the blink of an eye. The 4 figures kept changing and attacked Zitan Palace master. The strength of Zitan Palace master was only at the level of the 8 difficulties of heaven and man, and he was no match for the 4 people. He wanted to call for help, but the 4 people did not give him a chance at all. After a few breaths, he was killed by their palms. Seeing this scene, The ancestor of the Mu family and Mu Xianyang changed their expressions. Don't leave anyone from the Jiang family and the palace master's lineage. At this time, Su Chen's voice came from the courtyard. A figure left from outside the courtyard. Chapter 448 Beggars Sect. We come from the Beggars Sect. At this time, in Luocheng, Chang County, Jiangnan, it was raining continuously, and the whole air seemed a little humid. In a dilapidated temple, a bonfire was burning. A 9-bag elder and an 8-bag elder were boiling a pot of hot water. The 9-bag elder was named Lu Yaowei, and the 8-bag elder was named Yan Hu. Qiao Feng stood in front of the house, looking at the continuous rain outside. How many people have we gathered in Luocheng now? Qiao Feng asked. Boss, we don't have many beggar gang disciples in Luocheng, about 500 people. Now the plague is spreading a little, and we don't have enough herbs, an 8-bag elder who was carrying a fire said. Have you found out whose mansion the herbs are gathered in now? Qiao Feng said. The leader has found out that the herbs are all gathered in Liao's home in Changjiang County. Liao is a direct descendant of the Jiangnan Lai family. This part of Changjiang County belongs to the Lai family, Liao, the 7th prince's mother's family. Recently, they are marrying with the 4 major families in Jiangnan, hoping to increase the Lai family's status in the Jiangnan region, Qiao Feng muttered. This matter should not be likely. The 4 major families in Jiangnan control half of the power in the Jiangnan region. If they marry with the Lai family, they will stand on the side of the 7th prince. It's not time to place a bet yet. They should not choose to do so. This may just be a trick played by the Lai family to deal with the eldest prince's actions in the Jiangnan region. Leader, should we intercept Liao's mansion? Said the 8-bag elder. How many gang members do we have in Chang County now? Qiao Feng asked afterwards. About 3,000 people, plus the 100 disciples we brought earlier, 9-bag elder Lu Yaowei said. With such strength, can we take away the herbs and some disaster relief food from Liao? Qiao Feng asked. Boss, it's very difficult. The governor of Chang County, the city defense barracks outside the city, and the commander of the Southern Pacification Division are all the 7th prince's men. Once something happens to Liao, not only will the governor help, but people from the city defense and the Southern Pacification Division will also show up, and the forces in Luocheng are basically controlled by the Lai family. Once there is a movement, they will also move out. By then, we will suffer heavy losses, Lu Yaowei, the 9 Pockets elder, said in a deep voice. The capital of Chang County, Ancheng, is a very large city with many forces inside and outside the city. The Lai family is in charge of Chang County, so their power here is definitely not small. Herbs and food are not easy to transport. When taking things away, they may be intercepted. Once the interception force is too strong, they will suffer a lot of casualties. Moreover, a large number of beggars will flow into Ancheng, which may also cause some changes. It seems that we have to find a way to get the other party to send the herbs and food outside the city before we can take action, Qiao Feng said in a deep voice. Boss, we can actually buy them. The 1 million taels of silver notes sent by the young master from the capital and the 300,000 taels of silver notes he raised for us privately have all been sent to Chang County. We can use this money to buy herbs from Liao, the 8-bags elder said. According to my observation, Liao hoarded herbs just to make money. He should be different from the person who created the plague, although they are in collusion. I think Liao will sell those herbs in the face of huge profits. By then, if he takes the money and doesn't sell, the boss and we can personally take action and kill him. By then, I think we can also shock the entire Chang County and make our beggars gang famous. During this time, we can gather more beggars gang disciples, and we can surpass them in momentum. Even if a conflict breaks out, if we don't protect the herbs and fight, the losses will be smaller, the 8-bags elder Yan Hu said. Okay, then we will set off overnight and head to Ancheng, Qiao Feng said. But when he spoke, his eyes were slightly condensed. It seems that a friend has come to see us and won't let us go, Qiao Feng said softly. At this time, outside the ruined temple, a group of people wearing straw raincoats were galloping. The leader was 3 people. Soon they stopped outside the ruined temple. Commander, in Luocheng, the beggars are gathered in this ruined temple. Behind the 3 commanders, a person spoke. The forces of Chang County are all under the control of the Lai family, and Qiao Feng and his movements have been mastered. This group of people came to the Lai family from Ancheng, Chang County. The 7th prince and the 1st prince stopped fighting openly, but secretly, The first prince was still infiltrating the seventh prince's territory. So the Lai family was very careful. Once a suspicious person appeared, the Lai family would destroy him. This time, although these people provoked beggars who were not as good as mudlegs, there were many people, so they attracted attention. There were 3 commanders from the Lai family. One of them had the rare strength of the second heaven. The other 2 were at the peak of the soul refining. As for the dozen people behind them, they were also in the soul refining realm. The lineup was luxurious. After all, they were afraid that this was a trap designed by the eldest prince, so they brought so many good players. Kill, the leader shouted. Behind him, dozens of people drew their long swords. They were ready to re-enter the ruined temple. The door of the ruined temple creaked open. Tianyu, wearing a tattered robe, walked out from inside. He held a bamboo stick in his hand, and there were 8 pockets embroidered on the tattered clothes. As if he didn't see the people outside, he walked out of the ruined temple on his own. At this time, a man with a knife went straight towards Tianyu. But when he rushed over with a knife, Tianyu's bamboo stick flashed out and then pulled back. The bamboo stick was placed on the ground, and a trace of blood flowed out from the top of the bamboo stick, mixing with the rain on the ground. You want to fight with a beggar like me? I don't know where I offended you, Tianyu said coldly. With a quick bamboo stick, the leader's eyes flashed with coldness. He didn't even see the other party's move just now. Really? I wonder if you guys can dodge my bamboo stick, Tianyu said coldly. He didn't show his full strength. After all, the strength of the 7 difficulties of heaven and man will still cause a sensation. Kill. Seeing this, the leader's eyes condensed, and the 2 people beside him and the dozen people behind him attacked Tianyu at the same time. Dozens of soul refining masters attacked. And they were people who often trained together. Even if there was one difficulty for the heaven and man, they were all surrounded and killed. Knife light, rain light, human figure. But a ray of green light cut these figures apart in a blink of an eye. The figures of the dozen people who attacked paused, and then fell to the ground. Blood mixed with rainwater, and the entire ground was formed into blood water. The leader's face changed, and a long knife appeared in his hand, and he instantly attacked Tianyu. When the knife was out, a black light appeared in the knife, tearing the rainwater and attacking Tianyu. You're still too slow, but before his knife arrived, Tianyu appeared in front of him, raised the bamboo stick in his hand, held the end of the bamboo stick, and pierced the opponent's throat directly. Who are you? The leader covered his pierced throat and said hoarsely. Beggar's sect, we are from the Beggar's sect, Tianyu's voice rang in his ears. Chapter 449, Chang County, Lai Family Liao, County Magistrate Liu Kingayao. Chang County, County City Lai Mansion, the golden characters are very dazzling, and the mansion is like a garden. Behind an arched wall is a waterside viewing platform. There is a small pond around, the water is clear, now is the day of spring flowers, red carp swimming in the pond. A young man in a golden robe is feeding these carp. Suddenly, not far away, a figure rushed over. The young man put down the glass bowl in his hand and turned to look at the person who came. Master, something happened. The secret guard sent by the main mansion died in Luocheng. Commander Li who is on the way. The person who came was an old man. Why didn't you notify me when the secret guards of the main mansion came to Chang County? The young man asked in a deep voice. This young man was Liao of the Lai family in Chang County. They came to deal with some small fish, so they didn't notify us. I checked here and found that they went to Luocheng to deal with some refugees who were lured to become beggars, the housekeeper said in a deep voice. The refugees who were recruited to become beggars? How many people? Liao asked. The competition among the noble families was also fierce. Liao was able to rule Chang County not only because he was a direct descendant, but also because he was extraordinary. So the first thing he thought of was the number of people. There were about several hundred people, so the secret guards were dispatched. They recruited so many beggars and wanted to cause trouble. Do you know the losses of the secret guards this time? Lord Li, who didn't say in detail, but just said that the leader was a warrior of the heaven and man realm. The housekeeper said, the commander of the heaven and man realm was killed. It seems that the other party still has some strength. You should investigate closely, Liao said. When he finished speaking, a figure flew down, wearing a black gauze skirt, with a gorgeous appearance, but with fierce eyes. Lianji, why are you here? Seeing the woman fall, Liao couldn't help but ask. My lord, there are two things. The first is that an important person from the evil alliance, is coming soon. I guess he wants to keep an eye on things here. The second thing is that many beggars have entered Anchang one after another, and several of them are at the soul refining realm, the woman called Lianji reported. The evil alliance is cooperating with us, but they still feel uneasy. I don't know what they are worried about. Are they afraid that I will take all the profits? Humph. As for the beggars pouring into the county city, it seems that someone wants to cause trouble in the county government. A group of beggars is not to be feared. Isn't there nothing to do in the county government? It's a good opportunity to give them something to do and let them deal with these beggars, Liao said. Although there are people in the soul refining realm, they did not attract Liao's attention. Master, we'd better deal with this group of beggars ourselves, because these beggars are related to those who killed the secret guards. They came to the county government, maybe they have a purpose for us. Even if we tell the county government, I'm afraid they will just perfunctorily deal with it. My idea is to let these beggars go first and find out their purpose. If the leader shows up, we can catch them all in one fell swoop, the housekeeper on the side said. Hearing the housekeeper's words, Liao nodded and said, inform Uncle Lihu about this matter and let Uncle Lihu come here directly. I really want to see what they can do with these beggars. Liao's loud voice sounded in the viewing platform. At this time, Chang County, outside the county city. A rundown village, in a thatched house. Qiao Feng and Tianyu were in it. Boss, we have gradually notified the surrounding gangs to gather here. Elder Lu has sneaked into the city to pick up the silver bills that Mr. Lian sent us, Tianyu said. Okay, if the Lai family attacks us, then we don't have to stay and can directly destroy the Anchang Lai family, so that the people in Jiangnan will know the existence of my beggars sect, Qiao Feng said. Previously, their plan was to develop in a low-key manner, get medicinal materials from Liao, and continue to recruit some disciples. But now they have been targeted by the Lai family, and Lihu, one of the leaders of the Lai family's secret guards, has come to Chang County. Kill Lihu and destroy Liao in Chang County. This is Qiao Feng's current idea. Liao has many people in the Chang County government. Qiao Feng not only wants to kill them, but also take over Liao's industry. Boss, now we are mainly afraid that the county government and the city defense will take action. Once they take action, the ordinary disciples of the beggars sect will not be able to resist at all, Tianyu said worriedly. I asked you to mobilize the surrounding gangs to come here, just to cover up the more than 100 gang members we brought with us. Also, let the other gang members who joined our beggars sect see the strength of our beggars sect. In this way, there will be martial arts masters who will join our beggars sect, Qiao Feng said. Now, how can ordinary beggars at the bottom of the society become the world's largest gang? How many days will it take for Elder Jin to arrive? Qiao Feng asked later. Elder Jin is another one of the 8-bag elders like Tianyu. His name is Jin Yuanling. He was previously sent by Qiao Feng to other cities in Chang County. I will arrive tomorrow, Tianyu replied. You should pay close attention to the movements in the city, especially the whereabouts of Lihu. Notify me immediately if there is any news. I am going to go into the city and meet the governor of Chang County to see if I can get some information from her, Qiao Feng said. The Lai family has controlled Chang County for many years. But since Liao stationed in Chang County, he has been gathering forces and merging them into his personal forces. The governor of Chang County has become a puppet. Who doesn't want Liao to continue to grow? The governor of Chang County must be one of them. Moreover, the governor of Chang County is different from other counties. The governor of Chang County is a female governor. She has been the governor of Chang County for 3 years. Although they are all the people of the 7th prince, they have fought secretly several times. After all, everyone wants to control Chang County. But the power of the governor is still a little bit less than that of the Lai family. Qiao Feng's purpose is to meet this governor. Yes, Tianyu nodded. After speaking, Qiao Feng left the thatched cottage and headed towards the county city. The county city is very prosperous. Qiao Feng recalled that he had seen the map of the county city and headed towards the direction of the governor mansion. After a while, Qiao Feng appeared outside the mansion of the county. The mansion of the county is not big, but it seems very quiet. In Chang County, the most powerful person is not the governor, but Liao of the Lai family. Inside the mansion of the governor, in the banquet hall, a woman in red was sitting upright. She was about 30 years old and had a curvy figure. However, there was a cold light flashing in her eyes and she exuded a sense of power. Below her, there were 3 women in white. They were pretty and also exuded a sense of coldness. The woman in red sitting upright was the governor of Chang County, Liu Qingao. The 3 women in white were 3 of her 9 personal guards. Sir, we have investigated and found that the recent influx of beggars all came from a force called the Beggars Gang. This force is gathering people. The number of people who have turned from refugees to beggars is expanding rapidly, one of the 3 said. Beggars have been gathered, and the number has increased, but these people are just ordinary people. They can be killed by poisoning them. If you want to cause public outrage and make trouble, it will be useless without a strong man. Can you find out who is behind these beggars? Liu Qingao said lazily. I haven't found out yet, but I got the news that the Lai family's secret guard suffered a loss at the hands of the person behind this beggar, the Lai family's Li who came from the main family. Now these beggars are pouring into the city. I'm afraid they are coming for the Lai family, the person who spoke earlier said. They are coming for the Lai family. Hearing this, Liu Qingao's eyes flashed. Investigate secretly and help me find the person behind this group of beggars. Maybe I can use this to get rid of the suppression of the Lai family, Liu Qingao said. Chapter 450, Everyone is gathered, it's time to start. Sir, Zuso and the others are investigating, and I believe they will find the other party soon, said the woman. When she finished speaking, Liu Qingao, who was originally lazy, suddenly changed her expression and looked in one direction. Huh? Liu Junshao is indeed extraordinary. Qiao Feng jumped down directly. Just as he jumped down, the 3 women in white clothes below Liu Qingao stepped on the ground at the same time, and a cold light flashed in their hands. 3 long swords with cold light went towards Qiao Feng at the same time. The sword energy was sharp, and the action was swift, and the 3 people moved in unison. Seeing this, Qiao Feng raised his palm and waved his sleeves, directly wrapping the 3 people's long swords. In addition, a burst of energy burst out from his body and pressed on the 3 people, carrying the 3 people's figures, and fell into the banquet hall. Who are you? Seeing Qiao Feng so easily take down her 3 men, Liu Qingao's face was serious. Did County Magistrate Liu mention me just now? I am Qiao Feng, the leader of the Beggars sect. Qiao Feng pulled back his sleeves and took back the energy that was pressing on the 3 people. The 3 women did not move again, but quickly came to Liu Qingao's side. The leader of the Beggars sect, Qiao Feng, Liu Qingao stood up and looked at Qiao Feng, with a gleam in her beautiful eyes. It seems that leader Qiao has been here for a while, so let's not beat around the bush. What do you want to do by coming to Chang County? Liu Qingao sensed the aura on Qiao Feng's body, but the aura was erratic. She knew that his strength was above hers, and from his words, she knew that Qiao Feng should have been here for a long time. It's just to gather disciples, but Lai Ao of the Lai family has stockpiled a lot of herbs, and we want these herbs for the Beggars sect, Qiao Feng said. Herbs? This batch of herbs? But they have some origins, not all of them are from Lai Ao. Hearing Qiao Feng talking about herbs, Liu Qingao said in a deep voice. Could it be that you, the county magistrate, are also involved in this matter? Qiao Feng looked at Liu Qingao and said. I am the head of a county, how could I do such a thing? The hoarding of herbs may be done by the Lai family and the Evil Alliance, Liu Qingao said. Evil Alliance? You mean the Evil Alliance that appeared in the capital? Qiao Feng shared a lot of news about the capital, so he knew about the Evil Alliance. I didn't expect that Qiao Gang leader even knew about the capital. When Liu Qingao heard Qiao Feng talking about the Evil Alliance in the capital, her eyes turned. Being able to know about the capital, this beggar gang leader Qiao Feng might be more complicated than she thought. There are many disciples in my beggar gang, so knowing about the capital is not a big deal. County Magistrate Liu, I came here this time just to know about the situation of the masters around Lai Ao of the Lai family, Qiao Feng said. Lai Ao is one of the 10 most talented people in this generation of the Lai family. He should have a guard who is a master of the 8 difficulties of heaven and man. Of course, he should also have a death warrior who has been forcibly promoted to the 9 difficulties of heaven and man by medicine. Liu Qingao stared at Qiao Feng while speaking. She wanted to observe something from Qiao Feng's expression. Hearing Liu Qingao's words, Qiao Feng's face did not change. The Jiangnan area is very large and rich in resources, which has created many noble families. Moreover, these noble families like to raise death warriors and use drugs to forcibly improve their strength. Of course, these people have a low lifespan because they have consumed their vitality in advance. Although their lifespan is low and they consume a lot of resources, the noble families have rich resources and do not care about such consumption. Thank you for informing me, County Magistrate Liu. Also, in the recent period of time, please do not embarrass the beggar gang disciples who entered the city. After the matter is completed, I will notify them to evacuate. Qiao Feng clasped his fists, jumped, and flew out of the courtyard and left. Please forgive me, sir. After Qiao Feng left, the three women in white immediately apologized to Liu Qingyao. I don't know how strong Qiao Feng is, so you don't need to apologize. I just don't know how he plans to deal with Lai Ao this time. It would be great if Lai Ao could leave Chang County in disgrace, Liu Qingyao said. In her heart, Qiao Feng could only suppress Lai Ao at most. Outside the mansion, Qiao Feng came to a restaurant, opposite the Lai mansion. He asked for a jar of wine, ordered some dishes, and started drinking. There was no need to worry about Lai Ao's strength. The only thing to worry about was Lai Hu, one of the leaders of the Lai family's secret guards. To be able to become the leader of the Lai family's secret guards, Lai Hu's strength must be extraordinary. After all, the secret guards are the Lai family's military organization that eliminates unnecessary troubles. Without a certain strength, how can they help the Lai family solve troubles? Suddenly, Qiao Feng's eyes moved slightly while drinking, and his eyes looked at the street not far away. There were 3 black horses galloping on the street, galloping over and stopping in front of the Lai mansion. Descending from the strange horse, the leader was burly, and walked like a tiger descending from the mountain. He was wearing a dark golden robe, and there was a murderous aura between his eyebrows. One is Shinran Jiunan, and 2 are Shinran Lianan. The masters in the Jiangnan region are indeed much stronger than those in the 9 counties in the north. Qiao Feng looked at the 3 people entering Lai mansion and thought to himself, this is a restaurant, beggars can't enter. At this time, a voice came out at the door of the restaurant. Several beggars were leaning on bamboo sticks and were about to enter the restaurant, but were stopped by the waiter of the restaurant. These beggars had a bag on them. They were the beggar gang's one-bag disciples, and they were also the latest disciples of the beggar gang. Being able to become a one-bag disciple means that they know some simple kung fu. Why can't we beggars enter the restaurant? We still pay you for drinking. Do you look down on us beggars? One of the beggars looked at the waiter who stopped them and said, why don't you invite the guests in quickly? When the beggars talked about the beggar gang, the restaurant owner immediately said, these days, the news about the beggars gang has spread in the county city. Although it is a gang composed of beggars, it cannot withstand the large number of people. It is better not to offend them if you can. Moreover, these beggars pay for drinking, so he can't say anything. Cuckoo. Cuckoo. At this time, a figure appeared downstairs, making a cuckoo sound. Qiao Feng put down the wine bowl and stepped out of the restaurant. The beggar over there walked to Qiao Feng's side. Boss, Elder Lu and Elder Jin are waiting for you. The beggar walked past Qiao Feng and headed forward, and Qiao Feng followed closely behind. In a small courtyard, Lu Yaowei was eating roasted chicken and drinking wine. When he saw Qiao Feng coming, he said, Boss, I have taken the banknotes from Mr. Lian. He wiped his clothes with his greasy hands and prepared to give the banknotes to Qiao Feng. There was also an old man with a somewhat burly look beside him, with 8 bags on his body, and another elder Jin Yuanling with 8 bags. Salute to Qiao Feng. Elder Lu, you should keep this part of the silver. Notify Elder Yuan to come here, Qiao Feng said to the beggar who led him here. This beggar was one of the gang members who were selected along with him. Yes, the beggar quickly left the courtyard. Boss, you are planning to fight the Lai family directly, but our current strength against the Lai family is not likely to win. Jin Yuanling, who was standing aside, took a sip of wine and said, it seems that Elder Lu didn't tell you that we were targeted by the Lai family's secret guards. The Lai family's Li who came for our beggars gang, so it doesn't matter whether they are in the open or not. I just went to the county governor's mansion. The county government will not drive away the beggars gang disciples in the near future. In this way, we have enough manpower to transport the things we have obtained. Also, the matter of hoarding medicinal materials is something that Lai Ao did together with the Evil Alliance. Notify the Golden Wind and Rain Tower of this news, Qiao Feng said. End of this chapter. Thank you very much for reaching the end. Don't forget to like. Looking for more exclusive content and immediate access? Subscribe to our Patreon. Remember, every like, subscription, or donation encourages us to continue. Thanks to everyone. See you in the next video.